Hello, checking mic 1 2, just making sure my mic is working. Welcome to the Ghana Agenda. My name is Kpone Katamansu, and today is the 2nd of October, a new month, the beginning of the last quarter of the year, and this Ghana Agenda will be very interesting. If you haven't already done so, please share the link. I have some interesting guests that we'll be talking to. I'm going to be checking in my green room just to quickly see if they are ready to go. If you haven't already done so, please share the link. This show is sponsored by AOU, which is the United Africa Organization. This is an organization that is providing for the interests of Africans living in the United States, in the diaspora. If you have any issues with immigration, etc., please reach out to the United Africa Organization to seek assistance and counseling for your immigration and other issues, healthcare, what have you. Reach out to them. We're also sponsored by Word Remit. Word Remit is the best way to and the most secure way to send money from yourself to a loved one, whether in Ghana. You can put it in their Word Remit wallet. You can go straight to their bank account. I have done it so many times and I love their services. Please try it too. Word Remit, the most safest and securest way to send money to your loved ones and family, whether in Ghana or in the United States. I'm going to take a quick break to check my green room to see who's here, who's not here. And when I come back, we will get into the conversation. But please, if you haven't already done so, share the link so we can have loved ones who may be interested in this program to also watch it. We'll be right back. All right. Welcome to the show again. My name is Kpone Katamansu. Today's program was supposed to be joined by someone, of course, who's in the news lately. I'm talking here about Hopeson Adorye, who has, traveled to the United States and tried to advise the youth about the fact that they are being influenced by somebody like Twene Jonas, who makes a lot of commentary about Ghana, how things are going with our democracy, with our progress in developing our country. He talks about glass and coin, which means the United States is developed wherever he goes. The system is working, etc., etc. Hopeson took issue with that. And this is a phenomenon we've witnessed all over the world. Traditional media is seeing a lot of disruption lately, where a lot of ways have emerged to share news and information, and people are taking advantage of it, whether for good or bad. Disinformation is now taking a network power and moving at a speed that we've not seen before. So somebody can be actually talking about something which is completely false, but because of social media, is able to reach as many people as traditional media would do. This is causing a lot of destabilization or disruption in how journalism and news is distributed and consumed. And several different governments are reacting to this in different ways. We've seen the likes of Hopeson in the United States and made some comments. We were going to talk to him about that. But unfortunately, he has some conflict and he's not able to join us today. But in his place, I will be joined by my regular panelists in person of Efa Amayao, who is in the green room and will be joining me shortly. I'll also be joined by Paul Disosu. And what we are going to do is we are going to digest what we heard last week from the communicator or the communication officer of the NDC in person of Sami Jemfi, who we were lucky to host last week, and he told us a lot about his how he think the Ghanaian government the current government is running the economy. He talked to us about corruption, etc., and how the NDC is preparing to go into the 2024 elections. We'll digest that. We'll also look at the reports that we just received from Ejura on the cost of the events that we witnessed somewhere around June of last year, where Kaka lost his life, and then there was a demonstration, and a couple of, I think, 2 other people also lost their life, and some injured. That report has been released, a 55-page report. We'll take a glance through it to see what the recommendations are and share our opinion on those recommendations. Then we'll also look at a proposal that is making the news about the government trying to acquire a new presidential jet. So those are the 3 things we table for discussion. If you haven't already done so, please share the link so that people who may be interested in the program can also join us. Today, we are going to do something unique. We will be opening the phone lines so you can ask your questions directly and you can partake in the conversation. That we've tried before, weren't successful, but today I guarantee it, we are going to open the phone lines and you'll be able to join. You'll be able to call in and ask your questions, and we'll see how best we can try to answer those questions for you. Again, my name is Alfredo Muzu. Let's take a quick break. When we get back, I will bring Paul and Afa so we can start the conversation. Paul and Afa, I'm sure you guys are ready to go. Let's take this quick break. When we get back, we will start. All right. Okay, welcome back to the program. Paul and Afa, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Okay, so I know the 2 of you are having picture issues today, but Paul, I didn't hear your voice. Paul, can you also hear me?
Good afternoon. Alfred, I can hear you clearly, and I just want to say good afternoon to my propaganda friend, mischievous brother that I have. I know he's coming here this afternoon to do propaganda and broadcast into the ears of the listeners this afternoon. But I am here to keep steps on him. I am here to make sure that he doesn't speak lies or misinform us this afternoon. So we'll see how it goes. I urge him that he should speak truth, nothing but the truth. Thank you.
All right, so I guess Paul already gave his introductory remarks, so I would hand it over to Efa to give us his introductory remarks before we start the program. Efa, what do you want to tell the viewers and listeners before we actually jump into the matters we table for discussion today?
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to host, to have a discussion with Paul. But the statement that he just made, right, wherever he put Ifa, he should remove it and put for the Sosu. Anyway, Paul, greetings to our cherished listeners. I want to thank you. We want to thank you for a time like this and the opportunity given us to come and share our opinions on the development of our country. We are going to speak truth to the issues and debunk the propaganda. He said, I'm doing propaganda. I say he's doing the propaganda. And at the end of the day, just as it's expected of journalism and the good people of Ghana and our cherished listeners, they will be the ones to decide who is speaking the truth. And they are at liberty to say if I is doing propaganda or whoever is doing propaganda. That I don't have a problem with that at all. But what I'm here to do is to speak genuinely on what I think is the way forward. Some of it will involve politics. As a party, we have our stance on what development is about, and that's what we are here to do, and we'll do just that. Thank you very much. and we hope to have a fruitful conversation. Thanks.
All right, so guys, thanks for joining the show today again, and I always, love having you to help discuss the issues we table for discussion week by week. I really appreciate that. So today, as you know, we were going to have Hopeson Adorye. Hopeson is actually the parliamentary candidate in the last election for the New Patriotic Party at Kpone Katamansu. Hopeson was recently in the United States where I was going to ask him, what he was doing in the United States, etc., so he can tell us. But unfortunately, we don't have Hopeson joining us today because he has a conflict. One of the, comments he made when he was in New York was about Twene Jonas. And we all are witnesses to what is happening in our media space now, where traditional journalism is seeing some disruptions, where a person like me can just engage my audience on Facebook or YouTube, and for good purpose or for bad purpose. Sometimes it turns into propaganda, it turns into falsehoods being peddled. We witnessed in 2020 election when even the sitting president of the United States was using social media to spread falsehoods, which led to an insurrection in our capital on January 6th, to which, we are still seeing people go through courts at the moment. We know that there is a session to Title 47, which is Section 230, which actually gives immunity to the social media platforms from being sued when somebody's, peddles propaganda or falsehood, which they intentionally know were false, prior to spreading those falsehoods. But what we've also witnessed is that during our election in the United States in 2020, that Facebook was able to suspend the account of the president. So the question I have in my mind is that a route to go through? If someone is on social media peddling, whether it's falsehood or saying malicious things against a politician, should the politician be going through Facebook to put a ban on that person's account or to suspend the person's account? Or should the politicians be chasing after the person, looking for where they work, etc., or trying to dig dirt on them? And I'm going to ask that question to you first, Efa. I was hoping we would have the parliamentary candidate himself here to discuss that with us, but since it's not here, I would like to see, what do you think about that, Paul? Do you think, Facebook or working through the social media platforms to remove the accounts of people you suspect said falsehood about you or malign you or defame you in a way, rather than actually chasing after them in life, which could be some invasion of their privacy? So the question is for Afa. Let's take Afa first. Afa, what do you think about that?
Oh, okay. I don't know if this question is in line with this post that is going on, that the president is appealing to Facebook to suspend Twene Jonas. Nothing of that has happened, if that is what it is. If you're asking the question, and nobody is pursuing Twene Jonas, people are just, Hopeson is just making a general commentary. The government of Ghana or the political party, I'm a communication guy. We've never even have a discussion on Twene Jonas or Kevin Taylor to respond to whatever they're saying. And see, this is what we believe in. We believe in the freedom of the media. We believe in people's expressing their views. What MPP as a political party and the government, the current government, which is led by the MPP, believes in is that if you make a statement, we have a right to respond to that. And that is where it led to people talking about culture of silence. And Elizabeth Ohene came out and says culture of noise, not culture of silence. You, like you said, people are peddling falsehood, right? It's not true. People are peddling lies. People are projecting a particular image. That is not the case. So we have a right to also say so, but we wouldn't go to the extent of, going after the person's privacy and all that. I mean, individuals may make commentaries, attacking the personality of somebody, but that is not something we as a policy or as a direction as for our communication and stuff like that. So that is that. I think that, any platform that has been created, like for instance, your platform, you are building a reputation for yourself. So we cannot come here and be using this platform to insult people, to, assassinate somebody's character and do all these things kind of stuff. On a few occasions when, out of the blue, we go that, you warn us, you bring us back, you censor us. And that is part of the process, where you see the laws that governs free speech also has in there something called I don't know the legal word for it, that you are character assassinating something, you're peddling falsehood and stuff like that, that people can take you on, you know when
You mean
I mean,
defamation of character?
exactly. Can you imagine the most powerful man on earth, who was in active duty as the president of the United States, being taken off from Facebook? See, these
Correct.
things are unimaginable in our country. But here it is, because he was using his platform for something that was unacceptable and illegal. And you know, this is a country where people won't just watch you. You will be praised for doing the good, and you will be taken on when you are doing the bad thing. Because we've seen what the power of social media, radio, and these media outlets can do. Let's go all
Right.
the way to Rwanda and some other parts of. So we owe it a responsibility to make sure that these things, that sometimes we get heated and we can go and punch and punch and punch, and I mean, it's human. So nobody
Right.
want to nobody want to
So,
push it
so
in, but do it the right way.
do you think it's appropriate that somebody affiliated to the government or a party member would have videos done where they are going about looking for someone who is a social commentator who's critical of the government's performance, like Twene Jonas in this case, where in the video that you see somebody like Hopeson in, and you also saw also Bempa in, they were actually there saying they went to Rockefeller Center. He works in a car lot. They actually went to a pastor's house where he lives, which is pretty much his dwelling. Do you think it's appropriate for people who are affiliated to the government to come to a foreign land and make an attempt to pursue somebody who's critical of their government?
So whatever they did, whether going to his apartment or where he works or whatever, it is not in the mind to harm the person, right? Maybe they've never met. Who is this guy making, all these blah blah blah? So get to know and talk to him. There was a time when one of the government officials, Kofi Ameyao, he is at the Information Center, Washington D.C.,
Right.
where he had to come around and talk to him. Hey, you can say whatever you're saying, but make sure, you also say it right and blah blah blah. Talk to him for him to polish what he's saying and not go all out to bastardize as if there is nothing good in the country. So it was not. I mean, who will put a video to go and do something bad, right? who will give you the evidence to go and do something bad? So it was, who is this guy? Try to know more about him, and perhaps try to engage him and say, hey, yeah, you can. Nobody is saying don't bring the ills in the society out, but I mean, you going overboard, you're insulting people and all that kind of stuff. So that is not good. And you realize that for some reason, people, you see, this is America, right? You can't come here and do such stuff, harm somebody and get away with it. I mean, who are you? Who are you? Ghana? The Ghana government can't even sanction such a thing. No way. Can't come here, harm somebody and get away with it. So that is a no-no. And they will hunt you down. So that is way not even in the equation. So I mean, whatever they were doing was just get to know. And I wish Hopeson would have been here to explain that it wasn't a party policy, it was just an individual thing, getting to know. But he happens to be a communicator, so people will misinterpret it, and it was interpreted to mean the guy can't be found and blah blah blah. What I mean, come on now. If a guy cannot be found in America, you don't go on social media. Go to the police. You report.
Right.
And then he's
Yeah,
come
I
out
mean, he
and
made comments like he couldn't come to his work. If he came to his work, he'll be arrested. I mean, some of which bordered on trespassing because you couldn't go to somebody's dwelling just unannounced, without invitation, without any permission to be there. So I kind of found that odd that somebody will come from Ghana and even pretend to be doing that. I mean,
yeah, so it's not odd to go to somebody's place to look for them unannounced. It's you see. So if it is being portrayed that he was going to harm, I'm saying that is not that is not
that
it.
is not the case.
I can come to, I don't know how to put it. I can come to your state, right? And then decide to give you a surprise visit. If the intention is to harm you, that's where the negativity is. But surprise visit, come there and see who this guy, where does he work, and all that kind of stuff. So what we should know is that if you are attacking people negatively, right? People somehow will also find a way to attack you negatively, not necessarily to harm you physically, like lift something and knock your head or blah blah, but they will find out more about you and also try to bring your negative stuff out. You get what I mean? Like you portraying to be this, you are not. So we all have something in our closet, right, that we don't want come out, right? So it is communication. So once you live in a glass house, you don't throw stones. So as you are throwing stones into people's glass house, they also look for your glass and throw stones in there. So it's all part of the communication to point to the fact that we are all not saints or whatever it is. So Hopeson, and that was not the main reason they came to America. They came for, and once they are here, they just took the opportunity to get to know who this guy is. It has nothing to do with him.
But do you know why they came though?
Huh?
Do you know the reason they came though? Because I mean, he's not here for me to ask that. So
they came for a program.
Okay.
They came for a program. So and it was a successful program. So, but this was just on the side, like you visit a country and you want to check out their tourist attractions, but they have to be they want to know more about glass and Kwan and whatever they're going to do with that information. It's all communication and politics, and but nothing to harm him or cause anything to him, or we've had situations where, and we've been handling these things where in some communities people have issues with people and they've even called immigration. You see,
I mean what is dangerous about that is, and I'm gonna bring in Paul into this. What is dangerous about that is we've been discussing the culture of silence that we believe has setting in Ghana, where people are afraid to speak their mind. We know that some of these social media commentators are afraid of even going to Ghana themselves because they know they will be harmed. Or when they get to Ghana, we know Kaka, who perhaps the allegation is that because of his exposés, that those things he was posting may have influenced what has happened to him or other people to attack him. Even though the report is suggesting that it may be through a family feud, the understanding is the evidence before the commission, even that commission, is not a family feud. They have several warnings that they could have looked at and stated as the reason or one of the causes for what had happened to him. But we are saying that at the back of all that, we are looking at all those type of things that people are going through. We know Ahmed Suale's death coming out of the work he was doing to expose rotting government and governance, etc., etc. For you to actually come to a foreign country And whether it's true or not, but pretend that you're actually looking for somebody who's critical of your government, I just think it's dangerous. It's a dangerous practice. And that that shouldn't be something we see in our democracy. But that is my point of view. Paul, what do you
Right,
think
right.
about this whole thing? I don't know if you watched the video. I thought, but if you wanted to say something, you can say it before Paul comes in.
Quickly on that. You see, culture
Mhm.
of silence is a fiction. It's not true. It's just being used for politics. Now, even in America, even
Mhm.
here in America, in their political circles, people
Mhm.
are sending text messages of threats to people.
Right.
It happens everywhere, where it is not officially sanctioned by the Republican Party or
Mhm.
the Democratic Party. Individuals, because they have members in the party, feel some way and they will go on social media or they will do whatever. And when sometimes when you listen to some of the radios in America, the
Right.
racist comment and all these things come and they see and they get. It is a normal part of human life, right? In the
Mhm.
in government in Ghana today, I am yet to hear somebody that is going to tell me that people are not talking whatever they don't want to talk about in Ghana. Where social media is blasting in Ghana, people are living in Ghana saying Twene Jonas can go to Ghana today, nothing will happen. If you are talking about Kevin Taylor, that is a special case. He insulted the judge, and the judge has issued a statement on him. Kwaku Skirt. Who is going to arrest Kwaku Skirt for saying what? There are people in Ghana saying worse than is happening here. Insulted on radio every day, Kumasi everywhere. So why is the silence? So when you say it right, people on the other side, NDC, MPP, all of them, hey, we know a lot of MPP people that are getting threats. I'm not going to say NDC has sanctioned it because I don't have any evidence, but there are elements in there that believes that this guy is doing too much and there's the need for us to just send him a text message. These are individual people do it on the side, right? When they go overboard, yes, there's a need for government to come in and say, hey, no. Let people do this. And we've had the president say a lot of things about, that. No. I don't believe in control of the media. Say whatever you say, but when you say it, we also have a right to rebuttal or we have a right to seek redress when we think you are not doing it right. And they are all within the law. All these things are within the law. Where your nose ends is where somebody else's begins. So all this thing is good. And in America here, nobody can come here, whether looking for you or looking for you to do what to you. No. It's been misquoted. It's been, you know, over dramatized. It's being politicized for whatever reason. Twene Jonas is a free man. We are in America. I don't even know why we are discussing this. Who will come here and do what? No. Getting to know is getting to know. I am looking for him. I mean, I don't know how you're going to interpret I'm looking for him, but if Twene Jonas feel threatened by any of these things, he has a right to seek redress. And I don't really think that there's any threat in there or whatsoever. They're done and they're gone and all that. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, let's bring in our brother Paul. Paul, if I say there's no harm meant in the videos we saw where, people who are affiliated to the government very deeply are in the United States looking for somebody who is critical of them and how they are governing the country. Do you also share that view that, this, issue is minor to be brushed aside and there's nothing in there?
Well, good afternoon, Alfred, once more. You know what? A decorated monkey will always remain to be a monkey. A decorated monkey
This one,
will always
this one,
remain
you have to explain.
Why am I saying so? You see how difficult my brother Ifa was trying to, create the impression as if there's nothing wrong with this. Ifa is a brother to me, and I know he's doing this thing because he has to speak as a communicator for his party. But if you call Ifa behind the scene, Ifa will condemn this uncivilized, shameful, undemocratic, and visionless action of Hopeson Adorye and Ernest Owusu Bimpa and his president. Why am I saying this? Look, for a president to rent a plane paying $15,000 an hour, £15,000 an hour, to travel all the way from Africa, Ghana,
over 5,200 miles to the United States to go to Facebook and be reporting Twene Jonas to Facebook that they should block his account is shameful. The least said about it, the better. Yes, Twene Jonas, I dissociate myself with the insult. He insults our leaders and the way he says his stuff. But the issue at stake, Alfred, is that whatever Twene Jonas is saying is the truth. And that is the truth. I will urge Twene Jonas, if he can look at the insult he had to it and take the insult out. But Twene Jonas is speaking the truth. The corruption that has engulfed this government, the family and friend, the nepotism that is being practiced by this government, that's what Twene Jonas is talking about. And if my brother, if I extend that there is nothing like culture of silence, this is culture of silence right there in his nose. For a whole president to fly 15,000 pounds an hour plane and take a shower in the sky, for the water to pour upon me and Ifa, for him to go and sit at Facebook, asking Facebook to block the account of Twene Jonas is shameful. The president should have not even gone to that direction. I thought, and I think, if my memory serves me right, our president said he's a human rights president. If my memory serves me right, our president claims and said all sorts of things when he was in opposition against the former president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, which turned out not to be true. They are all false. And I can give 2 examples. He spoke about the diary that the former president is using state money to print, which was a false statement. Does that mean that we should take him on? Yes, Jonas, some of the things he says are false. They are not true. And the insult, I'm against the insult. I'm 100% against the insult. His insult, nobody will take it. But whatever Twene Jonas is saying, they are the truth and nothing but the truth. And for a president who is in a country whereby he's asked his people to tighten their belt, only for him to increase his salary by 79% and give the public sector 4%. And the most annoying part is to rent a private jet, put Hopeson Adorye in that private jet, and visionary Ernest Bempa in the private jet to bring that to America to come and look for Twene Jonas to harm him is shameful. You see, if I was talking, if I was trying to, do damage control, and if I is good in that. But look, let's call a spade a spade.
Are you saying that the plane that brought the president had also on that plane Alberto Owusu Bempah and Hopeson Adorye on it? You're saying that
I am not saying that. They came in advance ahead of the president.
Okay.
And their trip was footed by the state. Whether we like it or not, they came on the ticket of the president. And the president brought them in here to come and look for Twene Jonas. That is shameful.
I mean,
the money. Alfred, hold on.
Yeah.
The money that was spent on hotels, the money that was spent on air ticket to put Owusu Bempah and hopeless Adorye into a plane to bring them here to come and look for Twene Jonas is least said about it, the better. Look, whether I like it or not, social media has come to stay. Right. That is why I keep on telling my brother Ifa, who I know is a fine gentleman, and he has to be very careful some of the things he says, because social media is there to judge all of us, including me. Tomorrow, if I come and sit on social media trying to defend the indefensible, trying to throw dust into the eyes of the public, tomorrow, if I want to hold any position in government or in Ghana, these videos will be played back to me. For me, I don't understand the reason why the state will put hopeless Hopeson Adorye into a plane to bring him here to come and go after Twene Jonas. What was his purpose here? When you ask my brother Ifa just told you that he came to do other things. What are the other things he came to do? He was brought here purposely to come after Twene Jonas, to fight him and then get him deported back to Ghana. That was the mission of Owusu Bempah and Hopeless Hope Adorye. I thought he was going to be on this program this afternoon, and I was going to call him to put these questions to him. Look, Hopeson Adorye threatening people back in Ghana. I mean, going wayward like a barking dog. He cannot bring that attitude back here in the United States. This country is made of rules, regulations, and law. If somebody has infringed upon your human right, there is a procedure by which you can go to address it.
Right.
You don't go after the person, go to where the person works, or go to the person's house, fooling the persons all over.
I think the right procedure in this case would have been go to Facebook and have Facebook suspend their account.
Exactly.
And that's what you're accusing the president of doing. So why would you accuse the president of doing going through the right route?
Alfred, the president met with Facebook. Am I right or wrong?
I don't know.
It's a fact. The president met with Facebook. Am I right or wrong?
Well, we'll check with FI.
Please check with FI.
With us.
Look, whether they like it or not, they cannot ban the account of Twene Jonas. Twene Jonas has not done anything illegal. All what he's doing is that he is talking about the deprived situation in Mother Ghana, our country, the country that you and I comes from. And for me, we all have to listen to the core message he's giving. Aside the insult, which I am against, I'll never allow, and I'll never, take it, or I'll never support him insulting our president, insulting our leaders. That one is out of the equation.
Right.
I have personally, spoken to a lot of people. They asked me my views about the guy. I told them, look, the guy is putting out important message, but the part of the insult is the problem I have with him.
Yeah, I think he's very, very articulate as well.
Exactly.
He's able to engage people
the insult out.
And have people listen to him for hours.
And which I know my brother Ifa even listen to him when he comes on online. I know my brother Ifa goes to listen to him. Just like the way my brother Ifa last week Saturday, he got up around 8 o'clock, was ready waiting for this program just to listen to Sammy Jemfin.
Right.
So for me, what I am saying is that my brother Ifa should condemn this village attitude of Hopeson Adorye and Ernest Owusu Bempah for coming all the way from Ghana, 5,200 miles away, just to come after what? Twene Jonas? And if we say Ghana is under culture of silence, if I would tell me it is not true. That is culture of silence right there. Why are you trying to silence him? Let him go on, do his social media, engagement. In any case, don't we have other social media activists who are for the government, who are speaking for the government, who are saying all sorts of things against the former administration? Has the former administration or has John Mahama gone to Facebook or called anybody to ban the account? And the question is no. Because we believe in freedom of speech, freedom of right, freedom of expressing yourself. So for me, I want my brother Ifa, when he give him the black platform to do a rebuttal, he should condemn this shameless act from the president, Hopeson Adorye, and then there's also Bempah. When they do this thing that they've done, has brought a dent on them, and it becomes very difficult for communicators like my brother Ifa, who I know will not even subscribe to this to defend this thing. That's why he was, hitting around the bush. I know my brother Ifa. Ifa would have been shouting, but you see the way he took his time. He was very gentle, and he was trying to convince and do damage control. My brother, I'm sorry to tell you, your damage control is not going to get anywhere. The fundamental line of the issue is that your president has failed. Your president has disappointed the people of Ghana. For him renting a plane for $15,000 an hour just to put Ernest Owusu Bempah and whoever, Hopeson Adorye, in to come after Twene Jonas is a shame to the government of Ghana. It's a shame to the president of Ghana. It's a shame to the NPP government. If they have something to do with their time, they should spend their time wisely on other stuff and leave Twene Jonas alone.
Okay, let's bring in Afa because he said a lot that he has to respond to. So Afa, Paul is saying that you should, condemn the fact that people will come all the way from Ghana. I'm putting you on a mute shortly just to avoid the echo. But once I'm done with the question, I'll bring you back. Yeah, so he's saying that you should, condemn the fact that they will come all the way from the United States to go after Twene Jonas. But before you, consider whether you condemn that or not, would you mind confirming to us that the two gentlemen, Albert Owusu-Bempah and Adorye actually traveled on the state? Did they actually travel using the state's funding, or did the state fund? Were they funded by the state to travel to the United States? Are you aware of that? And you also know whether the president went to Facebook and confronted Facebook about certain accounts that the president would like to see suspended.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Alfred and Paul. Paul, cool down, okay? If I'm trying to be,
I'm down. But it's very annoying. You understand?
If I'm
be sponsored with state money to come to this country, to come and
it's
do
not
such a thing.
It's not true.
Oh, my brother, if
It's
should I
not
tell the
true.
number of people who were in the advanced party that came?
No. Listen.
Let him go. Let's
Okay.
see what he has to say.
Yeah. Take it easy.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Paul, they did not come on state-sponsored anything. Okay. You see, listen. You see, a lot of people, if the president is going somewhere, will go, for whatever reason and stuff like that. But officially on the state money, no, take it off. The president did not visit Facebook when he came to America this time. What you guys are putting up is something that happened way back. Now, Paul, you are in IT and you know I'm IT.
Admit that if you said he didn't visit Facebook this time around, then I withdraw that statement because I saw the video.
Hold on. No, that was something that happened way back. Paul,
okay, I withdraw it back.
If you want to close somebody's account on Facebook, you don't need to call Facebook. There's a procedure to do that. And we know that procedure in communication. We've closed a lot of people's account. So you see, it doesn't even come in. To close somebody. If you don't know behind the scene, let me show you how you do it. And it's pretty simple. Okay? Come on now. The president of Ghana will go to Facebook and say, close Twene Jonas. Come on. What are you talking about? No. Nothing like that. Okay? Nothing like that. You see?
Okay, admit, and I withdraw. If you say,
so Paul said he withdraw that.
Admit and I withdraw.
All right.
But
So there's a lot of this.
I still stand by the Hopeson Adorye and the Adorye that it was the state that founded them and brought them to this country to come and follow Twene Jonas just because Twene Jonas is speaking against your super incompetent government. I still stand by that.
Okay, that's fine. I don't have but I'm also telling you that they were not sponsored by the state to come here. No, that is not. So I mean, we can go for the itinerary and see that they were sponsored by the state and all that kind of stuff. And in fact, you can let your MP file a motion for them to get the official list and the sponsorship and the people that were on the official list. Owusu-Bempah and Hopeson were not part of it. They came on a party, something different. So you see, all that you're saying, right? Culture of silence, I keep telling you, that is not true. In Ghana, you are here. Sami Jemfi comes on radio, they go there, they say whatever they want to say. Everybody is on radio talking. There's nothing like culture of silence. Now, consistently over time and everywhere, I am telling you, you will have people in NDC, even NDC to NDC, you will have people, if somebody is within NDC talking about Mahama, you have people within MDC trying to threaten somebody in there. These are simple stuff. I mean, let us not blow this beyond proportion, and it doesn't mean. And it is because of the love they have for that. So that is not. But officially seeing the state, going after people that you can't do this and you can't do that. That is a no. Kaka, the official report is out. We can continue to do whatever we want to do. The official report is out, and there's nothing like government was after anybody. They put out there what was the reason for that. So let us, you see, if you have contrary view, we can say it. If you want to keep to your narrative, you can keep to that. But the fact still remains. that you can say, if you say in Ghana there's culture of silence, and I say no, it's a question of opinion, and people can say Ghana is in a state of statelessness. You go there, crime everywhere, you can't even walk in the night. These are not true, but you can go on and say all that kind of stuff. The truth of the matter is, right, that Twene Jonas is, you have even admitted it right here. And sometimes it may not even be the political party. He's been bastardizing presidents and key people in Ghana, so Muslims and other sectors of the country, and people will be reacting separately. Hopeson Adorye or whoever has not been sanctioned by the party to do anything. Whatever they did was not in any way to harm the guy. No. It was not even to silence him. How are you even going to silence Twene Jonas? No. So let us stop trying to put in all these kind of things that do not represent the situation, please. And I'm trying to be gentle today, So let me be gentle. Okay,
Anyway,
maybe
maybe
another topic is going to come up that I'm going to be very vociferous. Let me be gentle, okay?
All right. Okay.
Let me do 1 minute rebuttal.
Okay, let's just quickly and then we'll move on to the next thing.
That anytime any president, since President Kufuor, President Rawlings, President Mills, President Mahama, and this current president,
right?
Anytime, any year they come to the UN Summit Conference, they bring advanced team. It's a fact. So for my brother to be telling me that Ernest Owusu Bimpa and Hopeless Hope Adorye were not part of that team, there is nothing that he's going to tell me that I will take it. I am saying for government of Ghana to put Hopeless Hope Adorye and
maybe we should not be calling him Hopeless Adorye, right?
He's hopeless.
Exactly. And what you said,
Hope Adorye,
what you said is true.
Exactly what Twene Jonas does that you don't like.
They always have advanced teams. Yes. When the president visited us in Chicago, yes, there was an advanced team. But
the reason I'm saying this is that that Owusu Bimpa and Hopeson Adorye were supposed to appear on a radio program in Rooster right in my nose. They canceled the program and said they came purposely because they were part of the team that came in advance to welcome the president. So they flew all the way from Massachusetts to Chicago to meet the president, where the president entered into the US, not Chicago, what was the name? Texas, to meet the president. You understand me? So for my brother to be telling us that they were not on the state, list of people who came with the president to attend a UN conference, I'm not going to accept it. In any case, even if they were not supposed or they were not on the list of people that came on the list of the government, Mr. Amuzu and my brother Ifa, does it sound right to my brother Ifa, who is a communicator, top communicator in the US, for somebody to leave Ghana, fly all the way 5,200 miles to come to United States to looking for Twene Jonas, to threaten him and go on Facebook and do all sort of social posts and saying that he has gone, the guy has run away, they go to deport the guy, say all sort of things. Utterances speak rather than whatever motive the guy have. From the utterances and from the statement that Hopeson Adorye, you said I should not call him hopeless. I'll call Hopeson Adorye made in those videos, which is circulating all over social media, is that his core agenda of coming to this country was to come look for Twene Jonas, silence him, make sure that he loses his job, make sure that Twene Jonas is deported to Ghana. That was his main agenda, and he made it clear, specific clear in the video that is out there. And I am saying, if my brother Ifa, somebody from Ghana, let's say the NDC is in power, and I in Ghana, in government, fly all the way from Ghana to this place to come and look for him because he's speaking evil against my government, would he be happy about it? And go on social media and do all sort of, shameful and uncivilized videos trying to make a case and trying to justify the reason why he's here, and would Ifa be happy about it? All that I am saying is that is a dent on this super incompetent NPP government, and which all the president know to do is to rent 15,000 pounds an hour plane to fly in the air and take a shower, so that the plane, the water will flow on us. That's all this president know. Nothing else, nothing more.
All right, great for those comments back. Now, what we are going to do, as we stated earlier, is that we would open the phone lines today at some point. So what I'm going to now do is take a few comments that we've received so far. And then when we come back, we will switch to the next topic, after which we would open the phone lines so you can also join the conversation. Boslinga was kind enough to give us an alert that we are hearing some echo. I think it comes on when FR's mic is on and somebody else is talking at the same time. So, FR, if you can please, once you're done talking, go back on mute for us. That would take out the echoes. Thank you so much, Boslinga, for those comments. The next one came from Lifetime Legacy, our own Lifetime Legacy today. They didn't join us, I believe, because we were going to have a guest, and unfortunately, the guest had a conflict. So I had to quickly call my two amigos to see if they are available.
The guest ran away. Just say it. Say the way it is. He ran away. Because he could not answer the questions we couldn't put to him. He knows he has made a big mistake. He knew that he came here, and the mission he came here, the questions you put to him, he cannot answer it. So Hopeson Adorye ran away. Don't say he couldn't make it. He ran away.
He told me he had a conflict.
I'm telling you, he has no conflict. He ran away from the interview. He thinks this is Ghana, where he goes around threatening people. He should come and threaten us here.
Okay. All right. Lifetime Legacy says, Ghana does not need presidential jets, and which is the next topic we'll be talking about. It says what we need is national airline. Ghana Airways is established by Kwame Nkrumah. Ghana Airways established by Kwame Nkrumah has been turned to chop bar. Shameful government. All right, that's your opinion. Lifetime Legacy. And we miss you on the show today. Eric Kwame Duku says he learned the insult from Kennedy, Japan, and the dog. Oh, no, don't say that. Anyway, so I'll take it again. He said he learned the insult from Kennedy, Japan, and Abronia from Obrimpon in Germany. Okay. So that is from Eric. Eric is saying Twene Jonas learned the insults from Kennedy, Japan, and other people that he referenced. And Lifetime Legacy came back again to say that FR would always defend incompetent government. And our own brother, Boslinga, says, I can't believe Paul just redrawn his comment about Akufo-Addo going to Facebook. I believe he should have verified before making such immature statements. Very disappointing.
Alfred, let me respond to this thing.
Yeah, let me finish the last one.
There is a video and there's a picture all going around where the president is in Facebook.
Yeah,
and
I think that was
I am withdrawing based on what Ifa said. Ifa might be lying to us. It might not be true what Ifa is saying. I'm withdrawing because of what Ifa said, and I give Ifa that respect. That's why I'm withdrawing. So your listeners should not, misconstrue it. I am saying that even if it is not the case, the president has brought somebody into this country just to come after Twene Jonas.
But Ifa is telling you that the president didn't bring him, that he came on a party sponsorship. So I think that's something we can get the parliamentarians to file a question for, if we really want to get into the bottom of that. So, okay. McConey says, Akufo-Addo is the biggest problem in Ghana politics. Very vindictive, selective, tribalistic, and I think he's trying to say autocratic. All right. So those are the comments we have. We'll be opening the phone lines after our last topic, which would be the airlines or the flights or the plane that we are trying to buy for the presidency, and also we'll talk briefly about the Adorye report. Let's take a quick break. When we get back, we would start talking about our second topic for the day. We'll be right back.
Just one more pic, JJ, please.
Oh, Mama. Really?
Smile. It's not every day my eldest son graduates.
I couldn't have done it without you.
All without Auntie Jane's generous support.
Here is to Auntie Jane's well-appreciated World Remit money transfers.
World Remit Corporation is licensed as a money transmitter by the New York State Department of Financial Services, as a foreign transmittal agency by the Massachusetts Division of Banks, number FT 1179663, and licensed by the Georgia Department of Banking and Finance, NMLS 1179663, Massachusetts Foreign Transmittal License, FT 1179663.
World Remit, a better way to send money. Download the app or visit worldremit.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Today we've been talking about whether it's appropriate for persons affiliated with the Ghanaian government to pay a visit to the United States to look for one of the social media commentators, very popular one. In this case, we're talking about Twene Jonas. And, if I is telling us there is no malice in this. This was just videos they did. And my understanding is they shouldn't even have done that at all, especially if you're traveling and you're a party person. Somebody like NS serves on a board of Ghana Gas, spokesperson for Ghana Gas. That's a very high position. And I think with that comes a lot of responsibilities, and such a person shouldn't be indulging in those type of behaviors. But we finished talking about that. We'll open the phone lines shortly, so you can also share your views and opinions on what you think about our government or people affiliated with our government coming to make threats towards citizens of Ghana who are living here in the United States because they are critical of government. Now, let's switch to something that is also making the rounds, the fact that our president currently travels only through rented or rental planes whenever he's going to Europe or to the United States. The only time you will see him using our national flight, which is the Falcon 900 or EX, is when he's going to other African countries. We've actually even seen the Liberian president on 2 occasions use the Ghanaian Falcon 900 in traveling to Ghana for the ECOWAS meeting on Guinea and back to Liberia. And so this is raising all kinds of questions. And then we heard that the presidency or the Air Force is planning to acquire a bigger airplane for our presidents. So the question people are asking is, in this time of COVID, where we are all tightening our belts, in this time of COVID, where our economy is not growing as much as we forecasted it was going to grow years before COVID came, or we are not able to see the pre-COVID level of GDP, etc., etc. Should we be, spending money buying a bigger flight for our president? Can this wait to when we get back to fully recovered, where people are employed, people are not, having babies on the floor? Should we wait for that time? Or times like that to actually acquire another plane for our president? The one we currently have, what actually is wrong with it? Other countries have the same thing. Theirs are older than ours, and they are using it to travel even to the United Nations, where they were coming for the same meeting that we went, which is the General Assembly. Other presidents in Africa travel with Falcon 900, which is a lot older than the one we currently have. So is it the right thing to do at this time, at this particular moment, when Ghanaians are being asked to tighten their belts? I would take Efa first on this one. Efa, do you think, buying a presidential jet at this point is the right thing to do? Efa, can you hear me? I think he's on mute. So, Paul, do you want to go first
Now
on this
that you
one?
put me,
I
Okay,
can
let him
go
go.
first.
I can hear you. Can you
Yeah,
hear
okay,
me?
let him go.
Can I go first and put my case down that he can rebuttal it? Because there's no justification.
I mean, boy, you're good to go. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Paul. If I say you can go.
Look, Alfred.
Yes, sir.
Look, listen to me. A decorated monkey will always remain to be a monkey, no matter how you decorate it.
Okay.
This president, no matter how or no matter what we say about the way he's misusing the taxpayers' money, he will always give us a dead ear on it. He will never listen to the people that he promised on 7th January 2017, that he was going to protect the public purse. Anyway, just to put on record, that speech was plagiarized. So let me just add that one. He stole the speech of former president of America, George W. Bush speech. So let's put that on record. He plagiarized that speech and said he was going to protect the public purse. And somebody who came into government saying, touting himself as uncorruptible, has now become a king of corruption. Alfred, why am I saying this?
Right.
Ghana does not need a presidential jet as we speak. We have a presidential jet, the Falcon presidential jet is there. That jet is just 10 years old. Let's make and establish that fact. That's number one. Number two, the reason why this has become an issue and we are all talking about it is that just in 2019, 9 months in 2019, the president, per the Auditor General's report, the president of Ghana, this insensitive president, spent 64 million Ghana cedi only on presidential travels. And if I take it to the old currency, which my mother and my uncle and my mother-in-law will understand, is 640 billion cedi.
Yeah.
That's the amount they spent only in 9 months on presidential travel. And the question comes, what at all is involved in that huge amount? The good news is that we thank God for COVID. Even though COVID is not good, 2020, because of COVID, this insensitive president never traveled out of the country because he could not travel out. He was in the country. But in 2021, as we speak, the president has spent 10 million Ghana cedi, which is 100 billion old currency, only on his traveling. And the question is, what is contributing to this? The president has refused to use the Falcon jet that we spent $45 million in purchasing about 10 years ago. And he's decided to live as an Arabian king. He's decided to live as, the king and be on the superstar that he wants to be. That is why in these difficult times where there is COVID, where the economy is not growing, where public sector workers are crying for pay increase, and he has only given them 4% increment, and he has given himself 79% increment. The thing the president has decided to use the taxpayers' money for is to be renting a jet which costs us £15,000 an hour. Alfred, the £15,000 an hour, do you know what it can do to a village school in my country, Hejana Copper? £15,000 an hour, 2 hours, £30,000 can build a whole school for a village in my hometown, Hejana Copper. But this president has decided to rent a luxurious jet because he wants to sleep and wake up and take a shower in the sky so that when he gets off the plane, he can walk into his meeting. This is so disappointing and so sad. Is this the president who promised the good people of Ghana that he was going to protect the public purse? Someone who said he was going to protect the public purse has ended up, spending on the public purse. Alfred, whether we like it or not, the presidential jet that we have, there's nothing wrong with it. It is airworthy. And if I agree with me, if an aircraft is not airworthy, you cannot take it, you cannot fly it. Once this presidential jet, which the Minister for Defense, Honorable Dominic Nitiu, has come to Parliament to announce to the whole world that the presidential jet is airworthy, there is no any excuse this super incompetent president will give us that we will accept it.
Right.
The minority in Parliament has taken a stand. We will not be part of this buying of this president's new presidential jet for this president just because of his comfort.
But Paul, some will say this argument is something that we always have, in Ghana. Started from the Rollins time when he was trying to buy, is it DC-10 or something like that? He was buying for the government then.
Mr. Muzo,
we had this conversation.
This is a different case. We have a presidential jet which is just 10 years old. Do you know what it means to be 10 years old? A jet, a plane is made. Do you know the lifespan of a plane?
Right.
It should take over 25 years before you can decide to change the plane.
Right.
As we speak, we have other presidents from other countries who are using presidential jet that is as old as 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And today I was listening to Dr. Gideon Beko on Newsfire.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he really pissed me off. What are his reasons? That when the president sits and somebody sits behind him, the president cannot even stretch his legs. I mean, that is shameful. And that the presidential jet, because in 2018, the president came to the UN conference, and when they were about to take off, the president developed a fault. So the security expert have advised him not to use the jet, which whenever he's making any trip, which is more than 4 hours. Look, Mr. Muzu, that presidential jet that they are talking about found itself in France. We are asking questions. A question has been filed in Parliament. We want to know who used that jet. As of today, we don't know who used the jet. The presidential jet, the Falcon, we have, there's nothing wrong with it. We are looking for the safety and protection of our president, because I want Nanado is a super incompetent president. I don't want him to be the president. I will not look for his death. That one far behind that. Nobody in the opposition is looking for the security or to put the security of the president online. What we are saying is that we are in difficult times. This is not the time for this super incompetent, insensitive government to be talking about buying a new presidential jet. This is not the time.
So you don't have problem with buying a jet. The problem you have is the times that we are trying to buy one.
Alfred, it's not about the problem. It's about the timing.
We have money, and
Alfred, we don't have the money. If we have the money, they should pay and they should build hospitals so that my niece and my nephews, my cousins back home in Ghana, who goes to hospital and they lie on the floor, they stop lying on the floor.
But
they should use the money to invest into that.
The issue here is, when the president travels, sometimes of course he travels with his entourage of some cabinet members, some assistants who would help him on the trip, and journalists who would also be on the trip to take note of all the meetings that he's attending and capture those for our consumption. Now it is that when he's traveling, some of his entourage will have to take another plane or be on commercial to meet him over there, and the journalists will have to fly on commercial and etc. So it is important that we get a plane that can haul our president and the entire team.
Mr. Muzu, Mr. Muzu, that's not the case. Listen to me. The Falcon jet presidential that we have takes 70 people.
Yeah, but when the trip is long, they cut it down to about 11 or 12 people.
No, it's not true. It is not true.
Yeah,
when the trip is long, they cut it down to 15.
Okay.
They cut it down to 15. This Arabia prestigious extravagant jet that the president is hiring takes 19 people.
Right.
And in the night, they cut the number down to 17. So two difference.
So the difference is about just
all the difference is what is he going to do? Look, this super incompetent and insensitive president has no excuse, has no justification to convince and tell us that he wants to buy a new presidential jet. There is no reason. You understand me? For his comfort, if you want a jet that he can sleep in it and take a shower in the sky, you should wait. When he's out of government and he gets his gratuity, then he can buy those planes himself and then be doing that. For now, he's a public servant, the number one gentleman of the land, a public servant, and he need to cut his coat according to his size.
Okay.
He cannot be spending the taxpayers' money paying £15,000 an hour with an airline renting a prestigious jet. And don't forget that when the jet is sitting out on the tarmac, we are still paying for it because it's still under our jurisdiction. And I know if I'll come and talk about security, look, Alfred, having your own national security people mounting a jet as compared to getting people you don't know from anywhere flying you, which one is safer?
Right. In other words, flying with our own efforts.
What if those people flying those private jets? What if somebody knows somebody on the jet and the person will give the money and the person try to bring the jet down?
Right.
You see, so when you talk about security, they have no case. When it comes to talk about common sense, there's no common sense that they can use to justify why they need a new jet. When it comes to talk about, I mean, looking at our economic situation, look at the way people are suffering in Ghana. Look at the way things are difficult in Ghana. And you want to go and buy a new presidential jet? Look, Mr. Amuzu, let me also put it on record that this president, since taking power in 2017, has borrowed 216 billion Ghana cedi. When you take it into the old currency, do you know how much it is? 216 trillion. What have they used the money for? And I know my brother, if I'll come and tell me they've paid the loans. If you are paying loans with the money, why is it that our loans is where it is not reducing? Look, for me and the NDC and the minority, we've taken a stand. We will not be part in purchasing this new jet. If they want to do it by themselves, the consequences they're waiting for them. But for me, there's no any justification, and I don't think if I can justify or give a reason why they want to purchase a jet, a new jet, whilst we have one sitting down on the tarmac. So the question I asked myself this morning: what are they going to do with the one day? Are they going to sell it?
Yeah, I believe
what
so.
What are they going to do with it? They've not even given us the fine details. Whether they're going to sell that one, the money that they're going to get, and they'll add money to buy a new one. Nobody's telling us anything. All what I am saying is that the Falcon, is it Falcon 300 or Falcon jet that the president used is airworthy. There's nothing wrong with it. And don't forget, when this president took power in 2017, this jet was taken back and it was retrofitted, customized to suit his taste. So why are you going to buy a new jet? There's no need for buying a new jet. The president has been able, once President Oponria is able to fly on this jet, and nothing happened to him. Our president is expected to fly on our jet. In any case, I know if I is going to play mischief over here. It was only once, and the records are there, that President Mahama rented a private jet when he was the president. And in that instant, the Falcon was sent for servicing. It was not available. That was the only time that he rented a jet. And the jet he rented, it was equivalent to the Falcon that the president uses. In any instances, President Kufuor, President Mills, President Mahama, they've all flown commercial flight, first class. Why can't this insensitive president do the same? What is wrong with it? What's stopping from flying on first class on commercial flight and save us from this $10 million, which is 100 billion old Ghana cedi that they've spent on his travel alone? Don't forget, hotel bills are not part of it. Don't forget the cognac and the whiskey and then the brandies are not part of it. Those are not part of the cost. That is why, as we speak, the minority have asked that they should put out the cost of the president traveling. The Minister for Information came. The Minister for Defense came and said the Minister for Finance will provide it. Minister of Finance came. He's now saying that Minister of Security will provide it, whether they like it or not. Parliament is going back next 2 weeks. And Honorable Okulujeto Abakwa will make sure that this information will be made public, because the taxpayer deserve to know how much we are spending on our president just because of his comfort, just because he wants to be in the sky and fly and take a shower in the sky on us, which unfortunately my brother, if I will come to defend him, will not have the opportunity also to fly with him and take a shower. That's only what hurts me. And
All
I'll rest
right,
my
let's
case here.
bring a fine and see if the opportunity is there for him to take a shower as well. So
There's not going to be opportunity for him anyway. He will never take a shower. It's only the president and his family who always take a shower in the sky. If I will never take the shower, I know for a fact.
all right. So what do you think? Do you think it's the timing for this it's appropriate that when we are all being asked to tighten our belts, when the country is not growing as fast as we want it to, when we are accumulating debts at proportions unheard of, that's the right thing to be doing at this point to be trying to buy a jet. Do you think we should put that on hold for a little bit until when we turn things around in order to buy the jet? Or are you part of those who say the president need a bigger flight so that he can travel with his entourage all in the same flight?
Yeah, thank you very much, Alfred. You see, Paul is funny, NDC is funny. Now, you remember the bus branding, right? You remember the bus branding?
Absolutely, yeah.
That the government sat down and said that, you see, he's enumerating problems. That schools, we need money for schools. We need money for. Do you know how much we're spending with the bus branding that it became a problem? That the government sat down and said we needed money for schools. We needed money for roads. We needed money for this. That they will put the faces of ex-presidents on a bus. Of what benefit is that to us?
How much was
of
spent
what
in
benefit?
that?
Oh, hold on, I'm coming. I'm advancing my point. Of what benefit is that to us? But they did it as a government, right? Now, when Kufuor realized that there was the need for a befitting presidential place, NDC, go and look at it. They opposed it to the brim, to the point where it was a presidential campaign that they were going to turn it into a hen coop, into a place to raise chicken. But they were the first to use it, right? When Kufuor was leaving power, he realized that, you see, some of the travels are small, okay? Some of the travels are just small, like within West Africa, you don't need this big. When you are attending some ceremonies or things like that, you don't need that big jet. So when Kufuor was leaving, right, he was even not going to
buy a second one.
He made arrangement for two, a smaller one, the Falcon, and then a bigger one to go on a bigger travels. Okay, he made all those arrangements, and then Mills came. They used it for campaign, and when they came, they said, "No, we didn't need a bigger one. We need a Falcon." Now he is, you see, for purposes of argument and for purposes of all this, he is saying that the time the president used it was when he was in servicing and blah blah blah. But the truth of the matter is, you see, even if we buy the bigger one, there is always going to be part of the officials that have to go ahead of the travels, all of it, everywhere. You know, these are matters. Others will always not travel with the president, even though they are part of it. The security details will do advance and blah blah blah. I mean, you want to take it, you want to leave it, and all that kind of stuff. So it has always been an issue. And Mahama did not use it once. We can go for the records and bring them out here. So you see, he talked about blah, 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 blah. So on what basis will Mahama not use the Falcon to go wherever he wanted to go, but, decided to use another plane? And when
Mahama rented a plane once because the Falcon was out of service.
It wasn't once. No, it wasn't once. It wasn't once. So, okay, if Mahama used it once, he said Mills also used when commercial. On what basis did he use? The truth of the matter is, it is not every journey that you go. There are too many. If you even consider the cost implication and all that, it's not even worth it. Okay, so that is that. So we can go on that and all that. You see, the last time we had a discussion, I said this as if I'm not a prophet. I said we will come back to it. And even as we are discussing this, we are not even discussing the solution. The solution is what the president is with. But I also have another one. What is the government's policy? What is the existing policy when it comes to a situation where the jet is on maintenance, the jet cannot fly it along, or whatever is the reason for which we need to purchase one? What is the policy guideline for us as a country? You see, we should not speak as if the president sits down and say and bring if Mahama were to be president, he will sit down and say, hey, go for this. No president does that. Okay, it is a policy guideline, which is a coordination between the Ministry of Defense and this, and they make all these arrangements, and they determine. So, for instance, if it is a West African, have you ever heard them go within West Africa and have rented anything before? No, they don't do that. They've never done that. It is only these long journeys. Okay. Now, yes, we need it. We need it. When is the right time? You see, if you listen to their conversation, they're always going to talk about money, money, money. Yeah. You see, I will sit down here and I will say it again and again. We have the money to do whatever we want to do in the country. Don't come and sit on radio and say, there is a budget for the school. There is the budget for the presidential. There is the budget for this. We need this. We got to get.
It's true that Yetina Sikaso.
Oh, yes. Yetina Sikaso. What I said, we have the money and we have it. We have not been able to put certain things in place for which, we have shortcomings in other places. And you see, we shouldn't talk as if for purposes of politics. Time is not right. This is not this. All that is not that. We need schools and all that. We need school. We have to budget for the schools. Now we are here talking
but
about
the average person is being asked to pay. Even this year alone, a couple of additional taxes. I mean, there was.
Hold on. Yeah. We can.
So the average person is feeling like you are asking me to pay taxes on each gallon of petrol I buy, so that you can support COVID relief and all that.
Right.
But at the same time, you are telling me that you have enough money to go and buy a new plane. So
we are here, and people are quoting one presidential travel, which anyway, officially they've been what is his name? Ablakwa has been told that he's peddling falsehood. Officially, he's been told that what he's peddling is falsehood. He just go on the internet and do calculations and bring it on.
Even Eugene who said Ablakwa was peddling falsehood, didn't even himself give anything out. He just said.
So here's it, Alfred. Since we began doing discussions on when have they ever put some of these things on, like the military budget and all that kind of stuff. These are things they don't make public because it's quote unquote under security. But I mean, that is subject to whatever and whatever. When Abrokwa filed you see, he was talking about cost, right? When he filed the first question for the minister to come, he did not talk about cost. Because you see, you file the question to the speaker, and the speaker determines the appropriateness and other aspects of it. When the minister came, did you hear anybody asking him about this cost and cost? So they can play propaganda and they can do whatever they want to do with these things. But my thing is that
questions on the floor.
You see, there is what they say on radio, and there is what they do behind the radio, and this is very, very annoying. Now you say the president travel caused this. When you are filing, I am saying it caused this. So come and disprove me whether. But you go and check the question they're going to file. The minister will come and cost will not even be part of it. But that is that. Let us come back to the issue. Let's even say what Ablokwa is saying is true, right? Let's even say it's true. Which is cost effective? Buying the jet, buying a bigger one, or continuously going on this tangent? Which is true, and whatever each person want to choose.
I mean, you are just, why are you not considering more than just those two options? It has to be buying the jet, continuing to rent, or sticking to the Falcon 900.
The Falcon 900 cannot travel. Now, the Falcon 900, when they say it's airworthy, what it means is that it can fly, but it cannot fly to a certain distance.
They're proving that not to be true. They're saying the only reason that the Minister of Defense says the only reason that the president rented a flight, which was silly to start with, is that the president has to freshen up in the air. He couldn't give another reason for.
No.
Because the flight couldn't go beyond a certain number of hours.
But Alfred, no. It was just one of the reasons he gave. It wasn't like we are renting because we want the president to take a shower. No, that's not what they say. They talk about how big it is, the entourage and stuff like that, right? Like when you come into the UN, there are a couple of other stuff, and then he added that they want a situation where he freshen up and go straight into the, because maybe they will fly, and when they get there, he cannot go to the. I mean, all these we can take it up. But what I'm saying is the policy guideline. And I'm really disappointed in Ablokwa leading all these things without a solution. And all they say is that it's airworthy, go take it.
Now, it is not the president who determines these things. You see, there is a difference between Nana Akufo-Addo and the presidency of Ghana. If you don't understand these two, I mean, then I don't know what to tell you, right? For instance, during Atamil's time, he was saying some things. He wanted to take something off protocol. And then they had to tell him, no, Mr. President, this one, it is not your choice. It is for the security of the country because we are doing it. Sometimes they show us a video of a president riding on a horse. Do you know how many security details have been positioned in all places that you don't see? So you can decide not to take this one and go that way, but they have to make extra and special arrangements to make sure that your security is intact. Okay, that is why we have the all those details, the minister in charge of security, the minister in charge of defense, the foreign ministry. So they coordinate and they come to that conclusion that this is what it is. What I am aspiring a blocker to do is to ask what goes into determining this or that. And that if it is not right, they institute either a private law or force a legislation to come up with a policy that guides this. Other than using it for politics and Arabian king and blah blah blah. If you see right now, if we make arrangement to purchase this, it is not for Nana Akufo-Addo. It's not going to leave when he goes away. No, it will be for the president of Ghana.
Right.
So what is this? He wants to leave an Arabian king and blah blah blah. Now, talking about cost, right? He just pushed away. Tell them to go. Let's even take the Fourth Republic, right? In the situation where they've not used the Falcon, how much is the cost? And they are talking about saving the public purse. Let me not even go there. I have been giving you that we have saved the public purse more than any president. Now, when we came,
but they're telling you that you've been the luckiest government, in the Fourth Republic. You have 3 oil, fields simultaneously being drilled simultaneously. You've taken the biggest of loans, and they're also saying, you really don't have much to show for it. So, okay. Yeah. So. It is not like this government is comparable to all the other governments before it. This government has the most of resources. So you should expect, certain, accomplishments from the government.
Okay, which accomplishments are there? We can go into that. But I'm talking about specifically saving the public purse. Well, we're not here. I even forgot. We were supposed to even have discussed the September agreement. 1.2 billion was going to go down the drain. 1.2 billion, we saved the country or that. Now, before we came into power, there was a road contract. They have certificates of whatever for them to be paid. 1 billion was taken out of it. These are all things we've saved for the good people of Ghana. Now, if we had not come, if we MPP had not come, free SHS would not have been done on the massive scale. Do you know how much money we've spent in that area? Huh?
I mean, free SHS,
79 billion all going into the pockets of Ghanaians. So we have saved the people of Ghana money. We have put money into the pockets of people of Ghana. Right? We've done that. Employment and all these kind of stuff. And we continue to do more. So you see, we can debate issues based on thematic areas. We don't have to box all of them in. Right? But this jet, to me, I am not defending the government. Instead of us renting commercial flights and all these kind of stuff, I believe that if we got to do the cost, right? That which is more cost effective. But we are here and they're quoting millions and billions and this and this and that. How much is the jet going to cost us? And then they say, no, we don't want it. We don't want to use it and all that kind of stuff. You can take your stand. For some of us, we think it's important. Kufuor, if they had bought it when Kufuor proposed it, we wouldn't have been in this situation. It would have been for us. It is not every travel. You see, even in our own life, right? Even in our own life, sometimes you want to do some travels. You take a bigger car. You want to do some, in small rounds. You don't need to take this Escalade around because you just want to a stone throw away. You use a smaller one. And we are capable of buying and we are capable of providing this comfort for you. And talking about traveling and making the money, they said the same thing about Kufuor. But you see, just go and check the foreign money that we we pushed into the economy. And we've done a lot in terms of, bringing in the international. Look at what we are facing now with the COVID. The president goes here, they say, hey, we are ready to do this. The president goes here, they say, we are ready to do this for you. And we need all these things to be able to take up, the security and the health and all these needs of the country into consideration and put ourselves out there. So for me, it's important. It is not, me. If I personally don't believe it, I'm not going to. But this one, I think that instead of us spending and giving money out privately that they're putting up, which is false, then it's better we get our own and then case closed. But as usual, they're going to oppose every single thing. They oppose the Jubilee House, they oppose free SHS, they oppose. Give me the list. The list is endless. Ghana card, they oppose. They're going to oppose every single thing. So it is one of those things, right? We need policy alternatives. What would you have done? Under the circumstances, they shouldn't tell us that somebody is more frugal than others. No. Right. You use the money on bus branding and other stuff. You think so? You think it is important to brand a bus instead of giving us a school or hospital? Hell no, we don't think so.
Okay, let me bring
Mr. Muzu, before you bring in Ato, who is going to be your neutral guest. Look, let me just rebuttal some lies. I hate to say lies, but I'm forced to say lies.
I was going to bring you after Ato because maybe Ato would have already rebutted.
No. Let me outline some misinformation that my brother has put in out here. Number one,
1 minute, please.
1 minute. Number one, bus branding. Okay, bus branding. When the incident happened, and then we all saw that there was misappropriation of funds, the president ordered, and that project was cancelled. The money was returned back to the state. So I don't know what he's using the case for. Number two, it is not true that when they took power, road contract, they saved 1 billion Ghana cedi. As now, we all know over here that we've asked that they should produce that evidence. That evidence have never been submitted. So they should stop lying. Number two, for him to say that the president traveling and that like COVID, blah, blah. Look, whether the president traveled or not, the US government, the German government, Western countries' government has promised to give COVID vaccine to developing countries, which Ghana is part of it. So whether the president traveled or not, we're going to get it. So he cannot count COVID vaccine as an achievement of the president traveling. That is why you should rent a 15,000 plane. Number four,
right, but the ones also put it on record from the travel are things that are outside from the COVID scheme. So
Massa, whether he traveled or not, we're going to get it. Number four, let me also put on record, if I try to trace that fact, the Falcon that is sitting down there can fly 9 hours non-stop. Let's make and establish that fact. The capacity of the Falcon is 17 people, and in the night it takes 15 people. The Arabian plane that this insensitive president is renting takes 19 people at a time, and in the night takes 17 people. So I am saying that when it comes to capacity, you have no justification. When it comes to flying non-stop 9 hours, that plane that the president brought to the US just last week made a stop on the way.
So why do you think the president is interested in the newer plane then? If the capacity is not an issue, the range is not an issue, then what is it?
Because he wants to live as an Arabian king. That is the fundamental issue. And the last point I want to make is that when they say a plane is airworthy, okay, it is airworthy, it can travel to anywhere in the world. The only thing you need to do is to refuel. And refuel takes about 30 to 40 minutes. And let me also put it on record that even when the president returned from the US about some few days ago, 3 or 4 days ago, they made a stop at Cape Verde to refuel. With this luxurious jet that he rented, paying 15,000 pounds an hour, they stopped at Cape Verde to refuel. So, they have no justification for whatsoever to go in for this new jet. And for a fact to be saying that they have to have the money, we don't have the money. That is why we go for IMF and we go and borrow money. That is why when the COVID came, this insensitive government ran to IMF and IMF gave them $1 billion. As we speak, we hosted a program. If I run away, he did not appear on the program because he couldn't account for that $1 billion that the IMF and World Bank gave to us. So if I should not come and sit here and be throwing dust into our eyes, I rest my case.
All right, let's bring in our doctor of nursing, Dr. Ato Kpone Katamansu. who's usually canvassing the neutral point of view for us. He's also a photographer. He has so many secret talents. If I want to list them, we'll be here for the rest of the day. So, Dr. Todd, thanks for joining us again. And we've been talking about the fact that the current government wants to acquire a new jet so that, the president will desist from continuing to rent planes each time he has to travel to Europe or to the United States. We are saying that this particular time when the president is asking all Ghanaians to tighten their belts, introduce multiple taxes in order to take care of COVID and, the legacy, energy debt, etc., etc. It's not the time to want to spend money on a jet when we already have one that can take him to whatever destination he wants to go through. What are your views on this? Do you think it's appropriate for the president to buy a presidential jet at this point?
So before I start, I would say it's a pleasure joining you every Saturday for the program. My greetings to Paul and Ifa, and I wish I had heard what Paul has said about this topic. And again, I apologize for being tardy today. We have three options. We have the Falcon option as the airplane we have for the presidency. Second one is renting, and the third one is buying. The second one, we all agree that it's very expensive. Renting is very expensive. Now, the first one, using the Falcon, we all agree. That is a bone of contention. The NDC is saying that the Falcon is airworthy. It can fly 9 hours non-stop. It can take X amount of people. The NPP is saying that is not airworthy. It means that, say, if it's not airworthy, that means that we may have to buy a new one. So let's go with the Falcon. I am really concerned that if the president is renting a plane anytime he has to travel, then it appears that there may have been a problem with that Falcon. And the Americans will say, better safe than sorry. So I would like, if I give a car to, say, my wife or, say, a family member, and they tell me that, oh, the car is not running well, I would err on the side of caution. Because the fact that Mahama was using the plane 4 years ago, 5 years ago, doesn't necessarily mean that right now the plane is in this current shape. So I would think about the other options. So I'm saying that the fact that Mahama used the plane for, say, 4 years or, say, 8 years, and it was in good condition, doesn't mean that currently it's in good condition. Because I have a car. I have a Toyota Camry. The fact that I used it for 8 years, and I gave it to my wife, and she is saying that the car is not good, doesn't mean that the fact that I used it for 8 years, the car is still running. Like I said, better safe than sorry. God forbid, if ever, this plane develops any faults and something happens to our president, then what are we to say? Then we all will sit back and be very sorry for ourselves. Like what happened to our president at Tamils? People made fun of the way he spoke. But when later we realized that he had cancer, people were really sorry for what really happened. So I'm saying that let's go to the second option. Second option, we all agree, is renting is ridiculous. It's expensive. Now the third option, I am not against the third option, but my issue is this: the amount that we spend, the amount that we would come up and say, the amount that we probably will not go through any kind of tender process. All we will hear is that we bought a plane. So my focus is just on the third part, because it appears this government, vis-a-vis the airport vaccine issue. I mean, look at the amounts people are paying. That was done by sole sourcing. Look at the vaccine purchase, the Russian vaccine purchase. It was done by sole sourcing. So that is my concern. I feel like there's a need to buy a plane if the president says so, because I don't want a situation where, God forbid, something happens in the air and then we hear the unfortunate thing. But this government is fond of doing stuff without tendering, so much that we spend so much money on these stuff. And like you said, right now people are paying taxes. I mean, we can differentiate between a need and a want. Is this a need or a want? The president says that this is a need. If there's a need, then there has to be money available for these things. But it cannot be just any amount of money that we're going to use to buy these jets. So I don't know how the government intends to do this, whether they will come up with a tender process to purchase new jets, or just by the history, just go and buy something, come and tell us the cost. So that is my main point. I feel like the Falcon, if the president says it's not good, I wouldn't go with Paul and say that he wants to live like a Arabian king. I have no reason to suspect so. But my question is, how much are we going to buy the new jets? Are we going to do due diligence in buying new jets, or are we still going to go to buy a plane that is almost like the Falcon? That means we have wasted our money. So
right.
My concern is just the amount we just want to use to buy the jets. I feel like this is a need, and like I said, it is better safe than sorry than to say, oh, the plane, the Falcon is running all right, and something bad happens. Then we're going to be sorry for ourselves as MPP, as NDC, now as Ghanaians.
But I don't think the issue really is that.
Mr. Muzu, let me raise one issue. I think my brother Atu is misinforming us over here.
Right.
It's not the NDC that is saying the Falcon is not airworthy. The defense minister.
I spoke then. I'm saying.
Yeah. No. Let me claim the defense minister is on record. And it's a public record in Parliament. When a question was posed to him, is the Falcon airworthy? And he said, yes, it is airworthy. They asked him, why is the president not flying with the Falcon that we've purchased for him? And his answer was that the Falcon cannot do long distance, and that has been disproved to be not to be true. The Falcon can fly 9 hours non-stop. He also raised an issue of capacity, saying that because the president fly, he needs a large entourage. And I am saying on this platform that the Falcon takes 17 crews during the day, and in the night they cut the number down to 15. And the plane, the Arabian planes that he's renting, takes 19 people during the day, and in the night it cuts down to 17. So it is not the NDC that is saying that the air flight or the Falcon is not airworthy.
Right.
We have never stated that. The Minister for Defense has confirmed that the Falcon is airworthy, and that is a fact. Thank you.
Before you answer that, right? Let me ask. The president has been spending so much money, on travel, and then he's also borrowed so much, and people are saying that he hasn't built anything, or he hasn't done a lot with the borrowing and all the resources available to him. Do you trust him to be buying this plane because there's a safety issue there which nobody is actually complaining about, or do you think he's just doing it because he's trying to live like a Russian oligarch, like Paul keeps describing?
No, I wouldn't say I trust the president, but in the air, I mean, anytime I fly, I have concerns. I have concerns. So, like I said, this is the president of the nation. This is our president. No matter whether he's MPP or NDC or CPP,
his safety is paramount.
Safety is paramount. Like I'm saying, safety is paramount. I would kick myself in the foot to hear something has happened in air. If the president is saying, okay, I agree with Paul by saying that I heard the minister saying that it cannot travel long distances. That means that that's a concern. If you're buying a plane for a president that cannot travel long distances, that is a concern.
Right.
Like it wouldn't be his own, but I am only concerned about the amount of money that will be used to purchase this jet. That is that is what we're supposed to be focused on. Because, like I said, we made fun of Atta Mills, good old professor, about how he spoke. But then when we later realized that he had other issues going on, then we felt sorry.
Right.
We all felt sorry. So,
I understand my brother, but let him also note that this same plane has gone to France and be back. And we don't know even who took it to France.
That one is not proven yet, right? The question is still not answered.
It's not answered. So for my brother to be saying that it cannot go long distance, it's a lie. I am saying he is a doctor. He should search on the net in the aviation sector.
So you, Paul, I'm just quoting what you said. The defense minister said that the plane cannot travel long distances, and I'm just going by that.
And I am saying, I agree with you, and I'm saying that in the aviation sector, if a plane is airworthy, it can go anywhere.
Okay,
The only problem is that you have to refuel.
Question. What about helicopter? Is it airworthy? Helicopter is it airworthy?
Yeah, but
If
we
the
know the
helicopter is
range.
airworthy,
We know the
it
range
will go.
for the Falcon 900 to be 9 hours, right?
9 hours, my brother.
Even if it is, if it is that you have to refuel.
So my question, my question is: can the plane travel from Ghana to the US?
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, 9 hours without non-stop. Yes.
Where?
And they've done it before. They've done it
before.
President
Akufo-Addo brought it from Ghana to New York. 9 hours non-stop. Yes, from Accra to New York, 9 hours non-stop in 2018. He brought it.
So okay, no. See, Paul, that's my point. The fact that the plane traveled in 2018 non-stop doesn't mean that currently it's not in that state. That's what
And my brother, and I am also telling you that in the aviation industry, they will never allow an airplane to go into the air, even if it is me and you who are nobody. They will not allow that to happen if the flight is not airworthy. That is the fundamental line.
Airworthy means that it can fly, but
yes, it can fly to anywhere.
Go
and check it.
No. That's what I'm saying. Okay. What about a helicopter? You cannot say that it's airworthy.
But we are not talking about helicopter here. We are talking about aircraft.
Down the point. I think
we are not talking about helicopter. We are talking about aircraft. This president is living as an Arabian king. Let's accept it. Let's move on. He is not going to. We are in the minority. We, the NDC, will not give our blessings to this insensitive president to purchase a new jet. We will never do that.
You made the same point for the Jubilee House, but you occupied it first. This Falcon before did not even enjoy anything around it.
What is paying me that Efa will be here defending them, but Efa will not even have the opportunity to sit in the
how do you know?
£50,000.
Okay, how do you know?
That's my problem. Anyway,
Efa is getting an appointment.
How do you know?
Right?
Efa, you will not be able to sit in this 15,000 rented jet. So I don't know why you are even defending this.
You never know. He's taking us all on vacation.
I respect Efa very much. I'll leave it as such.
Quick one. I am not defending. You see, we have institutions. You see, we are always going to have this. I want this. I want that. But at the end of the day,
as far as the institution issue is concerned, all these institutions report to the president. So again, if the president wanted,
no, it's not. It's not true.
The Air Force, come on, the Minister of Finance reports to the president.
So you think the American president can say,
we're not talking about America, we're talking about Ghana.
I won't take the Air Force. That the institutions will make advice and he will bullshit the advice and do whatever he wants.
We're talking about Ghana, where the president chooses.
Let me ask my brother Efa and then my brother Atu this question. Do they know the president rented a private jet and traveled to go and watch Tottenham?
Man, you see, can you stop peddling all these falsehoods?
It is not falsehood. It is the truth.
Man.
I mean, even
in America, Atu and Efa and you and myself knows that President Trump, or even President Biden, as a president of the United States, anytime the Air Force One takes off into the air and it's not related with government business, and it's a personal issue, you have to pay for it.
But I mean, Ghana has to.
But that is American policy. You see, you don't have that.
That is why
you make that policy back home in your country?
That is why we need to implement the same policy back home in Ghana.
Okay, but you see,
our taxpayers' money.
So I disagree with you when you want to make politics out of the situation instead of bringing a policy framework.
Okay,
you are just scoring political point. You remember the other time I said this thing again, that we will come back to this discussion again.
Yeah, I remember.
And even as we are speaking, we are not even prescribing solution. If we are rejecting this buying of the aircraft, they are going to go on another this thing, and the suggestion will going to be the Falcon can take us, use the other one. And we have 3 years to go. What are you talking about?
Okay. 3 years. Akufo-Addo wants to buy the presidential jet this year or next year and use it 2 years before leaving office. That is the plan. And we in the minority will not allow it to happen. He's not going to get a new presidential jet. He has to use the Falcon because the Falcon is
build the Jubilee House and you occupy this part.
Let's
build the Jubilee House and you occupy this part, even though you oppose it. You are enjoying part of the free asset. You always oppose, but we will put the policy in place for us to have a better Ghana.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the last topic. I wanted to talk about, I don't know if you all heard, the special prosecutor did an interview with Nana Abba a couple of days ago. If you've all heard that, I have one or two questions that I think we should take a quick look at, and then we can bring the program to an end. Let's take a break. We'll be back to talk about that.
Just one more pic, JJ, please.
Oh, Mama. Really?
Smile. It's not every day my eldest son graduates.
I couldn't have done it without you.
All without Auntie Jane's generous support.
Here is to Auntie Jane's well-appreciated World Remit money transfers.
World Remit Corporation is licensed as a money transmitter by the New York State Department of Financial Services, as a foreign transmittal agency by the Massachusetts Division of Banks, number FT1179663, and licensed by the Georgia Department of Banking and Finance, NMLS 1179663, Massachusetts Foreign Transmittal License, FT1179663.
World Remit, a better way to send money. Download the app or visit worldremit.com.
All right, so for our last segment today, and then we'll open the phone line as I've promised, is that our special prosecutor had an interview the other day with, I think it was on GH1 or so, with Nana Abba. And he made it clear that when he reported to his office, there was only one person on payroll, that the institution, though the law was passed, it wasn't set up. That is now up to him to actually set up the office of special prosecutor. In other words, create all the department and etc. But we've had this creation of the special prosecutor used as one of the ways that the current government was fighting corruption. And we are talking about a government that has been in power for 5 years now. And this, institution was formed in 2018, and until today, it is now taking the new appointed special prosecutor to actually formulate the structures of the organization that is supposed to be, overseen. And he also made something that was profound. He made a comment that I find profound. He says that it is in the act, or the act gives him the power to audit or to investigate election results. He also says that he saw on his handing over notes issues with perhaps the executives actually interfering with previous investigations that were conducted, or the Ajapa corruption risk that was conducted by his predecessor, but he doesn't want to dwell on things in the past. So here's my question. Why wouldn't he dwell on things in the past? He's appointed as the special prosecutor for Ghana to overlook all cases that has to do with corruption. So if a case has to do with corruption before he came into that office, why would he prevent himself from going back and taking a look at those things? Should he, if he cannot do that, should he be resigning? Because it looks as though he wants to just look forward. But there were rots in the back, including some that you would even accuse the NDC of. Why wouldn't he look back? And that's my question. And then my other question is, should we be asking Mr. Kisia Jaben to look into the election result of 2020? And that, let's start with FR first.
Yeah, thank you very much for your. You see, I hate public servants or people that you say media talk. You see, corruption fight is action, not talk.
Uh-huh.
We've had enough of the talk from Martin Amidou. So, Kisi, please, action. You see, that is why you've been put there, right?
Right.
Whatever is wrong, you've been put there. And as we speak, the corruption is still going on. So please, not talk. If you need 10 people to be on payroll, it is not there. Do it.
put them on
He's hiring 250 people, but his board is not yet in place. So once the board is in place, he would actually announce the people that he's hired.
Okay, so tell whoever is supposed to appoint the board to do it, and we go. See, you get what I mean?
Right.
So talk. No, I mean, this and handing over note. They said executive. What is executive interference? Okay, so you see, we want specifics. Who called you that this case drop it? If you can't mention the name, that's fair. There's
he's actually saying the president. Maybe I kind of made it sound a lot better, but in other words, he's saying that Amidu actually made it clear in his report that the president interfered with his, investigation into the Ajapa deal.
Yeah, but how did the president? Okay, so you see, again, if you use a thing where you're still putting us into the speculative, the president interfered with my work. Okay, Amudu is not letting me do this and that. What did the president tell you? Phone call, written something? What is it? What was it?
The president told him not to release the report.
Excuse me, what did you say?
I think the president told him not to release the report, that he should come to see him and not release the reports, etc., etc. Yeah. It's
okay, but he released it.
The Japan corruption risk report.
But yeah, he released it. No, the president responded to all those allegations and all that kind of stuff. You see, okay, so whatever it is, you've been informed, right? You've been told and blah, blah, blah. The president reacted to all those epistles. He was there. One of the things that I also found, that I could not, that there was no letterhead and, those administrative things that were supposed to have been created for smooth handling of the office and all that were not put in place. You see, listen, the challenges are there. And just as Domilevo said, there are people that are going to resist you everywhere, global. You fight corruption, you fight crime, the crime will fight you. Okay, right. So fight it and be seen that the crime is, and let us know who is interfering. Okay, if you cannot do the job, quit, get out. You get what I mean? This thing talk and all that kind of stuff. I don't even get it. So
yeah, but the fact that he's saying that he doesn't want to go back and look into things like
no, I don't think that statement means he's not going to go back and look into whatever Amadou was doing, that he was going to leave all of them and going forward. So
yeah, he made it clear, emphatically clear that he doesn't want to look back. He does not want to go back into those things.
If you pick up Alfred, if you pick up the office, it is not your whims and caprices. So no, that's not what the law says. That okay, so somebody writes to you to look into the which deal, say the Ajapa deal, and you say you're going to tell them you are not going to do it.
Yeah, he says that he can initiate a case by petition, but he doesn't have to, because when he gets the petition, he has to do a preliminary investigation to determine whether that petition is worth going forward with. And there are so many petitions that he cast aside because he doesn't think those ones are worth moving forward with, because the state has to make a decision. Is it in the state's interest? And etc.
Exactly. So if somebody brings you a case, you are supposed to report that, maybe I looked at it and it doesn't look like you think. So which means you've drawn a conclusion on it, right? So if they don't agree, then they can take it up to the next level. But you cannot say that, okay, somebody wants you to look through something that happened in the past and whether it is this, and whether it's Amidu or someone else, and then you say, no, I'm not going to do it. No, I don't think that is how the law. Then at the end of the day, then it is the same thing, that somebody can say somewhere and determine which one to look through and which one not to look through. The law is not there for Kisia Jabin. The law is there for the special prosecutor to act. And the person, Kisia Jabin, is different from the special prosecutor. You are doing as the law says and not what Kisia Jabin feels. Whatever you feel must be within the law. See, we go back and forth
on. Almost feel like he's been, he's somebody's probably somewhere whispering in his ear that, look, you can touch this, you can touch that. Because
no.
I don't see how a special prosecutor who has the responsibility to prosecute any case bordering on corruption in Ghana will sit down and say, there is some interference in the past, but I don't want to look at that. Even regardless of whether it has all the tentacles of corruption or not, I don't want to look at that. How does he come to that conclusion? And to me, that tells me that this guy is telling me that he can fulfill his duties. That is one of his duties. Regardless of when it happens, if there's corruption involved, he should be able to investigate and, protect Ghanaians' resources from being, subjected to corruption and distributed among family and friends. That's what he should be going after.
Yeah, Alfred, I think that is misunderstood. I don't think it means there are cases he's not going to go through. I don't think that is what it means. Because then other than that, the past goes and we're looking forward. No, I don't think what it means. I think it is the brouhaha, somebody is interfering and all blah blah. I think that is the things he doesn't want to deal with, and not the actual cases of corruption.
But why wouldn't he want to deal with that if the president interfered with the investigation on a deal? The president interfered with a corrupt risk assessment on a deal that even people close to him are fingered in. Why wouldn't he look into that?
Yeah, but no. When the president, when Amadou reported on that. So this issue of the word interfered, I don't even get it. And the president office responded to that particular when he resigned and was making all these allegations, right?
Yeah, but Amadou's investigation was a preliminary investigation that would actually launch a full-blown investigation. So you would expect that the new special prosecutor taking, what has been established in Amadou's report would have wanted to look deeper, but he's excluding himself from touching that. He's telling us that he doesn't want to touch that. And that's why I'm saying that if he doesn't want to touch that, then should he is he fit for that office? Should he be resigning? Because we want him to be capable to be able to touch all corruption related cases without eliminating any.
Right. Yeah. I don't want us to go back and forth on it. I don't think the statement he made meant that specifically he wasn't going to touch, the past. You see, there is a lot that Amadou was working on, right? So, and then the risk assessment of Ejapa was one of it, right? So that one cannot be singled out. Whatever the report is
that was asked to him directly, the risk assessment on Ejapa deal is specifically was the one that was asked to him, and he said he doesn't want to touch that. He doesn't want to go back into.
He doesn't want to touch. He doesn't want to look into that one.
Yeah, he doesn't want to look into those things. Some of those things that were happening in the past. He wants to look forward. It sounds like It sounds like there's something even he's afraid of. And I'm saying that something like that. I mean, if you haven't listened to the tape, maybe listen to it. For me,
I didn't listen to it fully, but I don't think whatever statement he made meant he wasn't going to go into allegations that have been made into the past that the special prosecutor was working on. Then I mean that is a no right there. That is a no. When it comes to corruption. When it comes to corruption, right? I hate this media stuff. Corruption is action. It is like football. Stop bragging on radio and go to the field and play and score or be scored. You get what I mean?
Okay.
So I don't want the Martinamidu thing. Long writings and media. I don't have this, and I don't want to hear all that. And that I'm gonna stop somebody and ask them. Go and stop. Go on the street. There are a lot of people living ostentatious life. We don't know their resources. Go and work.
Right. Okay. He also says if you are a returning officer of an election and you receive, collated figures and you happen to do anything that either change a figure or misplace the figure or did something that's reported that affected the result of the election, that he wouldn't have to wait for a Supreme Court to make an announcement or didn't have to pay attention to whatever judgment the Supreme Court issued, that he can investigate you. So do you think he should be investigating the 2020 elections?
I think when it comes to elections, I don't know if the act specifically talk about it
that I'm not privy to, but
Yeah, he said that I talked about it before under his office.
don't know.
So,
I don't think whatever the act said is bigger than the Supreme Court. Or there's nothing that is bigger than what the Supreme Court will say in the country. So I don't know specifically what it means, but I mean, those who have problem with the law can, take it to him, and then, we test it and come out with what that specifically then he's talking about means, and then we take it up from there. But Alfred, what I'm going to say about all these things is that it is plain and simple. We have a problem in the country which is called corruption. Okay. And then there is the belief that because the government appoints the Attorney General, that it is not going to prosecute some cases. So the special prosecutor has come. Work. Martin was appointed. We all were happy that he was going to butcher and all that kind of stuff. We didn't see. You see, you have the opportunity now. Let us see the action, regardless of who is in there. So that we know that we're working on corruption as a people, as a country, and not the media stuff. No. Give us results in the media, not the problems. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's go to my brother Paul on this. Paul,
yes.
Do you think, this new special prosecutor is afraid of something now? Also, do you think you should go ahead and investigate Jane Mensah, especially because the election results turned out to be different results at different times, and she couldn't go on to testify, and so there are questions still unanswered. Do you think you should actually call Jane Mensah for an investigation?
So, Alfred, I will want Ato.
Quick question. Are you afraid to meet me on camera? That's why you're hiding behind your camera today.
I want my friend Ato and then my brother Ifa to help me. This tree proverb. I'm not an account. I'm a Voltarian, a proud Voltarian as such. There's a proverb which says that Aponchinihin finsuasi the catch yourself then cheme wa.
Oh, Aponchini finsuasi
Aponchini.
If you try to because the check,
it means that if out of the pond to tell you that someone is there.
No, I want you to complete the phrase for me. Aponchini if you try to catch yourself then cheme wa.
You cannot.
You cannot contest him, right?
Yeah. In fact, the real diction is bomochiche.
Okay. Thank you very much for helping me. And Alfred, I am saying this because I am happy that my brother Ifa today is being very cautious in praising the special prosecutor, because I know, and I told you, I have a video clip which I was on air with Ifa Obapatio show. Ifa praises Martin Amidu, and as if the whole world has come to an end. And I cautioned him on that program, telling him that be careful, and that whoever Martin Amidu is, don't put too much trust in him, because we know him, we know he cannot do nothing. And lo and behold, I was served right. That is why I'm giving this proverb back to him. And I am happy that
you're right.
I am happy.
He's right. Yeah.
Today
and thank you for the advice.
Thank you very much. I'm happy he's admitting and he's not trying to shower praises on an academician.
Yeah, you're right.
Ejabin. I am happy he's taking that course. And I agree with whatever he has said about him. Kisi Ejabin is an academician. We, academic students, we are trained to be bold, fearless, and speak our mind. I hope and I believe and I trust that whatever Ifa has said, I support Ifa. He should stop the talking and do the work.
Right.
The work that has been given to him, he should tackle the work and deal with the work. And for me, for him saying that he doesn't want to go to past issues, any corruption or a crime is a crime. Right. A crime has no time limit. Whether it was okay or it okay under the NDC, it involved NDC people, he wants to go into, he should go into it. If it's MPP, he should go into it. Ghana has gotten to the stage whereby we need to stop this NPP, NDC, and cry for Mother Ghana. The corruption scandals are becoming too much. And I want him to go back into all the cases that Martin Amidu was working on, which he did not complete. Irrespective of the president's interference, the president has come out, of course, to say that that's not what he did. But it's a fact also that Martin Amidu or Kenneth Oforiatta visited Martin Amidu in his house on a Sunday, which is a form of interference. Let's put those things behind us. I am saying that my old boy, Blebu boy, Kisi Ejaben, should try as much as possible to be independent.
Right.
He should not try to wear the shoe of Akufo-Addo. He should not try to force Akufo-Addo to force him to wear his shoes. He should wear his own shoes, independent, transparent, deal with the issue, whether it is NDC, deal with the person. If this NPP, deal with the person. The corruption that is happening in Ghana, those money can be used to develop our country, and we all have to support this gentleman to succeed. Now, coming to the fact of, he investigating the EC people, if they put down different figures, it's part of his duty, I believe, because he's supposed to make sure that nobody does anything that will cause financial loss to the state. If my brother Efa cares to know, as we speak, we have 6 different figures, and my brother Efa and my brother Atu has not, as we speak, as I speak, they'll not be able to tell me which of the figures is the correct figures. So, for me, I'll be very happy having him calling or auditing the EC, the super incompetent J. Adukwe Mensah, for him to come out and let's know what are the true figures of the 2020 election. What is the valid vote count? If he has that power, I will support him to do it. I will end by saying that if that power is within his jurisdiction, he should exercise it. And moving forward in 2024, whether the person stole the election for the NDC or NPP, this is not supposed to be done. We want transparency. Let's work as a country. Let's trust in our system. And the only way we can trust in our system is when people are accounted for their injustices, their corrupt act, and their connections that they do to favor one party. If only people are punished, this thing will become a thing of the past, whereby election will come. There will not be time for election that we will have to send our polling agents there. Go and cast your ballot. It will be counted free and fair, because you know if you do any kululu, the law will come after you. And I believe and I trust that my brother, Blebu boy, Kisi Ejaben, should do the best he can. He should refuse to wear the shoe of Akufo-Addo and my brother Efa. He should never put his leg into the shoe of my brother Efa or the president Akufo-Addo. No matter the situation is, he should investigate whatever he wants to investigate. Whether it is, I know Efa will come and tell me whatever. He's been using this that investigation that went on in UK, which they've ruled out and they are calling government official one. If he should go into it, we are open. The Mahama has said that he has nothing to hide. Whoever wants to investigate should go into any investigation. And I believe this Ejapa deal, PDS deal, the Mary Innovation deal that they were trying to make 800 million out of Ghanaians, the 11 contracts that were awarded to one person on the same day, the PPA deals, all these deals should be looked into. Anybody caught on the hook should be dealt with. This is what I have to say.
You're on mute.
You are calling from. Caller, can you hear me? Please mention your name. Tell us where you're calling from and your contribution.
Yeah, Alfred, can you hear me? I can hear you. You're loud and clear. Hello, Alfred?
Guys, can you hear him?
Yes, I can hear him.
Yeah, we all can hear him. I think you can speak through this thing and they can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear him.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, okay. So Alfred, this is our Boslinga right here. I just want to call and say thank you for the good job that you're doing.
Yeah, Boslinga, thanks for calling.
And also to put in my 2 cents into what you guys are discussing. First of all, I just want to touch base with that Twene Jonas issue and then Hopeson Adorye and all those issues.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's very unfortunate for our brother Paul to come out and say that Akufo-Addo flew all the way from Ghana just to go to a Facebook headquarters and then tell them to take down the account of Twene Jonas. That is unfortunate. I know he took it back, but the whole point is you don't come on air and then come and tell lies and later on take it back. What does it do to your credibility?
Right.
How about next time? Am I supposed to take what you say? You cannot just. You have to come with a verified information,
right?
So no one can prove you wrong.
So you mean he knew about him not going to Facebook before he said it, and then he took it back? So that kind of impacts his credibility to you.
Yes, okay. I mean, come on, Alfred. He's supposed to. This show is educational, right?
Right.
So I mean, how about if you go to a school and the teacher tells you lies, and then later on comes, "Oh, I didn't know."
Right.
You're supposed to know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So and also I just want to say that, but on the other hand, I will say, it is unfortunate that that Hopeson Adorye will come all the way from Ghana just to do things like that. I don't think that's the reason why he came, but I also think it's not necessary for what he did.
Right.
Is it criminal? No. But is it necessary? No.
I mean, if he showed up in his dwelling, then it's trespassing, which is a misdemeanor class B, and that carries with it, I think 2 weeks of jail time.
Yeah, I understand that, but since then, no one has come out and said anything. Has there been any report? No, we've not heard anything. So I believe that nothing of that happened.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be up to Twene Jonas in this case to want to press the case, right? Otherwise,
Alfred, we don't even know what we're saying happened. So if it did, I know Twene Jonas. I know he talks that very much. He would have come out and said something. So I don't think none of those things happened.
Right.
But if it did, then they should come out and let us know. At least there should be a form of police report or something like that. America is a country of laws, so you cannot just come here and do anything you want.
Right.
So if something like that happened, they should make it out so we can see, and then we can all learn from it.
Right.
Going to the aircraft, it is very funny how we make comments about President Akufo-Addo. He just want to live like an Arabian king and stuff like that. These are all cheap political talks. Okay?
You think so? Because I mean, the president is traveling and paying all these amounts while
I understand. I understand, but
we have a flight waiting for him, and the Liberian president is using his trotro. So are people wrong when they say he's living like an Arabian king?
The whole point is who decides what the president, what aircraft the president takes? Who decides?
I think it's National Security and Air Force.
Okay, so then we should blame them then. You understand what I'm saying? We shouldn't just say, oh, Akufo-Addo is this, Akufo-Addo is that. Who provides that info, that comfort to him? If they think it's necessary, then we should come out with laws that will limit, government involvement in whatever being presented to them. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's come out with policies that guides the presidential travel.
So what is the Air Force going to do if Akufo-Addo says, I don't want to take a specific plane?
Well, I don't think he can say that.
Why not? He's the president.
Then you don't go. Then you don't go.
I mean, nobody can stop him from going. Nobody can stop him from the type of plane he wants to use.
Listen,
the president.
We are not in Saudi Arabia. What the case is, whatever he wants. Okay,
our president is very powerful. Our president is very powerful. You know that.
Yeah, he can advise them that, hey, maybe I need something like this. But then it's up to the Air Force and national security to provide him with whatever we have.
Right.
That is what I think. If that's not the case, then they should come out with a policy to guide his travels.
Right.
And then, so what I'm saying on that is, I mean, if you feel it's necessary, if we know that what they are claiming is true, that they need to buy a jet, right? It's way better than renting. Right. So if that is the case, then we should just allow for them to buy.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with the one we have now. So why should they buy?
But they're saying that he's not using it, and I don't think he is the one saying
so
that.
So you're saying even if he buys a new one and the new president comes and say, "I don't want to use that one," we should go buy another one?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
We can do that.
Alfred, what I'm saying is, do we know why he's not using it? Is it because he said he doesn't want to use it?
I mean, they filed the questions and the ministers refused to answer that question. The why is that they answered was that.
Okay, then we should hold the minister then, because we cannot put it on Akufo-Addo that he's saying he doesn't want to use this. That's why we need to rent.
Right.
Okay, we should find out why.
Reasons they gave. One of the reasons they gave, which we keep talking about, is there's 2 additional people who couldn't, like, it loses from 19 to 17 passengers depending on the time of the day, and then it doesn't go long range without refueling, and then it doesn't have a place for the president to refresh. And this
Alfred, Alfred, I understand all those things. Do we have a policy guidelines for presidential travel? If there is, then we should follow that. If there's not, then we need to come out with one. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but in the meantime, we are in the middle of COVID. Everybody's tightening their belt. The president has introduced so many different taxes, and at the same time, the president is saying
you don't tighten your belt when it comes to security, okay?
Right.
You don't tighten your belt when it comes to presidential travels. We all know what can happen.
Okay.
So in that case, you don't say, oh, because there's COVID, I can just take trotro, and then how about if something happens?
Okay.
So on that note, I'll thank you very much, and I also thank Paul, Ifa, and my good friend Dr. Atu for doing an incredible job.
Thank you so much, Boslinga, who is also a host on the Akko Radio. He hosts the Health. Boslinga, what's the name of his Health and Wellness program, correct?
Yeah, that's Health and Wellness.
And it's on every Sunday, which is tomorrow.
Every Sunday, 10 to 12 Chicago time.
Correct. So if you are available, please watch Boslinga. You will learn a lot. I've learned a lot. I know how much sugar to take in my tea. I've learned about all kinds of different things, COVID and etc. And Boslinga has been doing a great job too. So, Boss, thanks so much for being the first person to try our line today. We are going to integrate this into our program. Where we allow,
so if you have Boslinga, who was NPP political colors, he will come here and be saying things and be tarnishing my credibility. The question over here is, he came here.
We'll let Boslinga go and then thanks for calling. All right, so he mentioned your name, so you can go ahead and respond to him. Paul, you go ahead and respond to some of the things Boslinga said.
I am saying that all he said is irrelevant. I am saying there is a picture out there that shows the president sitting at Facebook at their guest room. And I'm saying if the president go there because of this thing, that's what. But if I drew my attention that is not what happened. So what is the credibility issue he's talking about? He just came here to speak as another MPP communicator, as such it is, and he is an MPP communicator. And I don't care about whatever comment he gives. He's an MPP communicator. Thank you.
I don't think he's an MPP communicator, but it's just his opinion, and maybe he has a soft spot for the MPP.
Okay, he has a soft spot, and that's his opinion, my opinion too. So he should not come and attack my integrity. I can equally attack his integrity. So let him know. I know he's an MPP person. He always speaks for the MPP. That is why he said he greets his good friend Ato and Ifa, because they all are in the same party.
All right. Let's bring Ato in, Dr. Ato. So, Ajaben, came off as somebody, ready for this office with a lot of integrity coming into the position. But his utterances from this very first interview kind of made me to take a second look at this guy and say, is he afraid of anything? Has anybody tried to rein him in? Because he's telling us that there are things that he wouldn't want to look at. And I don't get it. If the thing has some corruption-related dealing, then you should look at it. This is your job to look at it. And also about the election results. Do you think you should look into that as well?
Yes, let me quickly respond to my brother, Paul. Paul, I don't know. I hope you know that I was also in Chicago. So Ifa and Boslinga are obviously close
Chicago guys.
Anytime it doesn't go your way, you tag me as MPP, which is okay. I mean, they are Ghanaians too. So let's go on with that. And also to Paul.
My brother too. I know you're an APP person, but I'm getting so let's move on. I know you and I know you are an MPP person. You've always spoken for the MPP. You've always contributed towards the MPP. I know for a fact.
In the past, I have.
But I've stated it on this show that I don't care if you bring 5 people from the NPP, I can battle and I can beat all the 5 of you. I am capable of doing that. And my brother Ifa knows that. So I'm not bothered at all. Thank you.
All right, thanks. So again to my friend Paul, I mean, there's a popular French literature author called André Gide. I don't know if you know him. He says that you cannot discover new oceans unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. Again, you can never discover new oceans unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. I'm saying that because I said this, I think, a couple of weeks ago about the 2016 elections. It appears the NDC is so much focused on that, and that they cannot discover new oceans unless they find the courage to just lose sight of that. That is a done deal. The Supreme Court, I mean, came up with orders. It is a done deal. I mean, it's good. I mean, but Mali will say that it's always better. The past is a window for the future. They can go back and find out what they did wrong and come up with new ideas. But it appears that the NDC is so much focused on that they may lose sight of 2020 elections, 2024 elections. Just why I put that down. In regards to Kisi, I really admire him, and I follow him a lot. I don't know, Alfred, if you read about Abugri, Sidney Abugri, his episodes. I don't know if you know him. He used to write a lot. And I wish that he would write now, because he used to write about NPP, NDC, and all his politics.
Right.
Stuff. I mean, I have listened to his interviews. I listened to the one with Kpone Katamansu, and he did really well. And I heard Ifa saying that he's supposed to do the work. He explained that even educating the public about his role is part of his mandate. So it's not like he's only out there talking. Talking about what he does is part of his mandate. I mean, after Amidou, I, like Ifa, had high hopes for Amidou. I read his episodes like a Bible. Like anytime he comes up, I read it over and over again and try to understand what he's saying. I mean, I thought he was excellent. And I really disregarded the NDC, what it was saying about him, how he treated males and all that. But I mean, like, I take it back. After Amidou, I feel like nobody could be the SP. I feel like the creation of this special prosecutor job, I think it's a waste of resources. I don't think there will be anybody in Ghana right now who will be appointed to investigate the current government. I don't think so. I feel like that creation, I mean, we have the Attorney General's office, we have the state legal office. Why this was created, I mean, after Amidou, I'm actually very disappointed. I don't think, although I admire this young chap, I added him as a friend on Facebook. Smart guy, very, very articulate, very, very intelligent. But after Amidou, what Amidou did in that position, I don't think that Mr. Kisi Ejaben will be effective at investigating the government. Maybe other corruption cases, maybe he can. But with this government, I don't think so. And I wish I would be privy to the information that he spoke to Nanaba about. If he doesn't go to the past, then I don't know what he's talking about. So he's thinking about future corruption issues. That would be very unfortunate, because we have so many cases that people have doubts about. So you would think that he would consider doing a retrospective analysis of what happened in the past.
Right.
Yes, about that. And in regards to what he said about
the election.
He I mean, I read Amidou. Amidou's point was just an allegation of corruption. So it's not really, it's only an allegation. So I don't take that to be really a serious offense. If Amidou had proven that there was interference, then maybe I would say so. So I take that as a pinch of salt. I think that, like I said, if the MPP, if the special prosecutor wants to investigate the elections, he should. Because, like I said, it will be a guide for the future. But again, like I said, the NDC is so much focused on the elections that they may lose sight of 2024.
Right.
If it's part of his mandate to investigate all corruption issues, and if we are saying that the 2024 elections were not done correctly, then he must investigate. But like I said, the NDC may lose sight of 2024 if they are still looking at 2020 and the elections and what happened. So those are my comments. The special prosecutor, that job after Amidu, I think it's a waste of resources, a waste of our time. The Attorney General should be able to investigate corruption issues in the state, and then when they're out of office, we have somebody come. Otherwise, we're going to come up with corruption issues that will not like Amidu said. It wasn't a lot of interference. Why would the minister go to his house at 4 a.m. in the morning? Who does that? So I feel like
to discuss what? I don't get it.
To discuss what? Although I know that he's a brilliant lawyer, he's a brilliant chap, I feel like this position is a waste of our time. That the Attorney General's office should be able to come up with ideas that we can do investigate. But I don't think it's anybody in Ghana who will be able to investigate the current government if they are appointed as special prosecutor. Thank you.
All right, that is Dr. Ato Kobina's position. If there are no rebuttals, I think we've been on for about 2.5 hours, and we would like to bring today's to an end. But before we do so, Efa, do you have any other additional comments you want to make? Otherwise, give us your last words and we can bring today's program to an end. Hello, Efa, are you with us? Okay, I think we.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so I was saying that if you want to add anything to what you've heard so far, Doctor is saying that the Office of Special Prosecutor is a waste of our time and money. None of them will be able to, prosecute, the current administration as we speak. I mean, they will frustrate you. I mean, are you gonna say?
So I respect.
Yeah.
No. I respect everybody's opinion on anything. Okay, I respect that, but that is not what is going to happen. That won't be the case. So that is why I want the special prosecutor to get into motion and work, and then we're going to see what he's working. Other than that, we will be engaging in speculations. Corruption fight is, ground. And like maybe Ato did not understand me. I'm not saying don't come and explain yourself, but don't come and be telling me about problems. What do you want me to do with? Oh, there were supposed to be 10 people, but I have one on payroll. So what do you want me to do? What do you want the public to do? To bash the government or to do what? Write to the government, write to the Minister of Finance, and make sure that things are done properly. So
the issue
I agree with everybody's opinion. Some may differ.
Corruption for the last 4 years.
But for me,
you only have one person on payroll.
For me, it is action. Let's get into the action. You just talking. Thank you.
All right. So can you also give us your last word, or that's it? Are those your last words?
Well, are you talking to me, Alfred?
Paul, I was trying to get his last word as well, so we can wrap it up. Efa?
Oh, my last word is a summary of all that we've said, especially what Boss Lenga said. I agree with all that Boss Lenga said. So as much as possible, let's come here and contribute towards the development of the country. Sometimes we don't get it all right, which is fine. We are all human. But I think that each and everybody's opinion means we mean well for the development of the country. MPP is the best government for Ghana, and we're going to break the 8th. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that. Paul, any additional comments on
I think, my brother, if I have said it, all what I wanted to say is true. We might not get some fact, but if you don't get a fact right and you withdraw it, I think it's the honest thing to do. For somebody to come and sit here and tell you your credibility that I will it, and everybody is.
Paul, your line is breaking.
Attention. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. We can hear you now.
I'm saying that I totally support my brother Efa submission that he just made. We are here to contribute to develop our country, and it's not always that we might get it right. So, I mean, if somebody don't get anything right, the person does the honest to retract it. Okay, I don't see where it lies for someone to come and be talking about credibility. I want to state on this
show that I respect Ifa, I respect Dr. Ato, and then yourself, and then whoever contributed on this show. It's a good show. We continue to support and then give our opinions on issues. Just to say that I'll pray that my brother Ifa, their flash styles, Jubilee House briefing this Sunday, they should not pollute the system. I'm just pleading on the father. When they go for their Flagstaff, I say Flagstaff, Jubilee House briefing this Sunday, I beg if he should tell them that he met a guy by name Paul Disosu. He really gave him tough time on the show, and that next time, if they are doing this thing, they should be very careful the things they say, because it's a no for Hopeson Adorye and there's also been to be sponsored by the government of Ghana to come here looking for Twene Jonas.
Alfred, these are the stuff that people talk about that Paul makes without any evidence whatsoever. When
Yeah.
talk about that, he gets into a problem with other people. Like,
Well, the thing about that too is that as far as the Hopeson Adorye and the NS also been past travel, nobody still told us what they came to do in the United States. Except that we saw them.
Nobody should tell you. Nobody should tell you. Nobody should tell you.
Okay,
but here they are in New York City, capturing motorcades of presidential travels, talking
citizens.
about they're going to look at.
I wish I had the opportunity to talk about that. These people are
Dr.
private
Ato,
citizens.
Dr. Ato, can I finish with my submission, please? Dr. Ato, can I finish?
Let me finish, if you allow me, please.
Yeah, go ahead, doctor.
I mean,
Dr. Ato, I was talking and you interjected me. So can I finish with my closing statement? Then you can take the rest of the time, please.
We're done with that.
Okay.
I'm saying,
Then we bring Dr. Ato.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm pleading on my brother Ifa. I'm pleading on my brother Ifa that this Sunday, when they go for their Jubilee House briefing, for the talking point for the week, he should tell them he met a guy who gave him a tough time, saying that act of the government to sponsor Ernest Owusu Bimpa and Hopeson Adorye to come here chasing Twene Jonas left, right, is a no, and we reject it. Number two, he should also tell them that the presidential jet, they should reconsider us. Ghanaians are suffering. Ifa is suffering. Dr. Ato is suffering. Alfred is suffering. Paul is suffering. Everybody is suffering. So this is not the time for us to buy a presidential jet. We beg them.
Right.
They should and then put that on the shelf for the time being, and let's focus on helping our brothers and sisters who cannot get common health care. That money should be channeled into health care. This is what I want to say. Dr. Ato is suffering, Ifa is suffering, and myself, I'm suffering. They should tell them, Ifa, please tell them for me. Thank you.
Paul, Ifa told you that those two individuals actually came on a party's program. They didn't come to do anything for the government. So the government didn't sponsor them. So I guess we'll stick to that until we have other evidence that point us to another direction. So yes,
let me go with the final one.
It's your floor now.
Yes, so let me address the first issue. I believe that Hopeson Adorye and the other guy, they are private citizens. I mean, so they have the right to travel to the United States, and they have the right to come up and also make online videos like anybody does. I mean, I just must prove. We cannot just say that just because Paul has said that they should come up with, then anyone can make allegations. They are private citizens. I mean, if they came over here and they breach the law, then the law must work accordingly.
Right.
I wish I had an opportunity to say more about that, but then like time is in the interest of time.
I mean, you take about 2 minutes, whatever, and push your.
Yeah, I believe in the freedom of speech, so I don't think that anybody should come and harass the young chap about what he's doing. I also believe that as Ghanaians we have a culture. We have a culture where we respect elders. We have a culture where we frown on insults. So although I respect people who share their views, I frown upon people who disrespect people, especially the elderly, especially the chiefs and people in our country. I would wish that Twene Jonas would make videos and talk about the real issues that happens in our country without insults. Then maybe I would probably listen to him. But the way and manner he goes about the issue is like he's out to get people and insult people. And I watched one video where he said that he's only for views. So I'm disappointed in that kind of person. Also, just like the other guy in Washington, I've forgotten his name.
My own brother Kevin Taylor. By the way, this show actually started out of Loud Silence. So
yeah, he's a family member. He's a family member. He's been part of my Maria family. So although I don't know him personally, but he's part of my family. I used to watch him, but then later it turned out to be that he's insulting other people, that he's not coming with right information. It's just propaganda. That I would not support. I feel like although we have the right to speak, we also have a culture as Ghanaians. We also have a culture as Africans. So what are you portraying out to people? Like we all over here, people are watching you, Alfred. The whole world is watching you. Whatever I say over here, I'm saying this because I feel like this is right. But I'm not gonna come over here and insult other people. I'm not gonna come here and insult your integrity. I'm not gonna come here and insult.
But they say that's what Ghanaians. That's what they that's the only thing they listen to. If you don't insult them, they don't.
No.
We are here week after week analyzing situations, and our views are not going anywhere. But we start say Jimmy, people will start watching us.
Yeah, but I mean, people will just watch just for the show, just for what you're saying, but not the details of what you said. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
So we have to be circumspect in whatever we do as Ghanaians. We have to be circumspect whatever we do as co-panelists over here, so that people would listen to us. I don't like propaganda talks just because it only would put us in a very awkward situation. I'm sorry, my son is in the room right now.
No problem.
So with the final submission, I think that as Ghanaians, like I always say, Ghana will be a great country no matter who runs it. But in terms of the jet, I feel like if it's not right, let's put it right. Because if something happens to our country, or happens to our president, then we are in big trouble. I better safe than sorry. And my last point is that I really do admire the show. I really do respect Ifa. I respect Paul, and I respect you, of course. I think that we are all here to make Ghana proud, to make submissions to help Ghana. Propaganda, stuff like that, I don't think it belongs over here. We are supposed to come over here to make sure that discussion is free. It doesn't come with any disrespect to one another. And I feel like we always do that. So my regards to all the listeners and viewers, and to Boslinga, who was the first person to call on our show to wish us well.
Yes.
Which I'll meet next week.
All right. Thank you so much, Dawkins.
Alfred, Dr. Atu refused to comment about the way he's suffering, the way Ifa is suffering. Everybody is suffering. So I want you to comment about that.
I think Dr. Bonnia
we in Chicago, we are not suffering. Right now, the weather is very nice. It's not as in the Arctic, it's not cold. So we are really enjoying. And I know Ifa is over here. I know Boslinga is over here. So we are not suffering. Maybe I probably think you are probably in Maryland area, and I know Alfred is in Washington area or Seattle area, something like that. They may be suffering.
Yeah, I'm in Washington, and where I am is glass and Kwa.
Maybe he wants to talk about the increases in prices and stuff like that. But how will you equate what is happening to Europe and London to what is happening? You see, the suffering there, it is somehow everywhere. You know, people somehow will say, for whatever reason we are. But you know, the prices of goods are just shooting up in Chicago. I don't know if it is all over America. You go and they've changed.
Yeah, I mean, economically it makes sense, right? The federal government pumps so much money into the economy.
Exactly.
To kind of,
so we try to mitigate it, and those things.
Maybe, so when that happens,
but we should be. My brother is in London and cannot get petrol into his car. But you in Ghana, you say it's expensive. So which is which?
See, Paul is a lot of mystery just because he's thinking about the 2020 elections. He's still thinking about that every day. He talks about that.
Exactly, we are breaking the age.
Well, but what Paul is saying is Baumia's line though. Ghanaians are suffering. Kayayo is suffering. This person is suffering. So Baumia has the copyright to that. Paul is just
but it would have been worse if Baumia had not getting close to the Jubilee House. That is what it means.
Oh my God!
It's better now.
All right. Okay, guys. Thanks so much for the show today. I appreciate you making the time on a short notice to come and join me for a great discussion. We'll reach out to our guest to see if, maybe in the future he would like to join us so we can ask him why he went to New York. What did he do in New York? I hope he didn't break any law because the legal system here may be slow, but it's sure. All right. So that's our show for today, which is 2nd October 2021. We'll be back next week to discuss some very interesting things. And I'll have the same brothers join me with all their wisdoms and experience. Thanks again for joining us. My name is Safred Amuzu. We'll be back next week.
Just one more pic, JJ, please.
Oh, Mama. Really?
Smile. It's not every day my eldest son graduates.
I couldn't have done it without you.
All without Auntie Jane's generous support.
Here is to Auntie Jane's well-appreciated World Remit money transfers.
World Remit Corporation is licensed as a money transmitter by the New York State Department of Financial Services as a foreign transmittal agency by the Massachusetts Division of Banks, number FT1179663, and licensed by the Georgia Department of Banking and Finance, NMLS 1179663, Massachusetts Foreign Transmittal License, FT1179663.